3, 2, 1. All right, we're in.
That bit gets better the more you do it.
I know. I'm gonna keep doing it. Okay, welcome back. Recapping last session, Nunu almost died.
Also, sorry, it's session 20, by the way. Session
20, big 20.
No, it's not.
It's 20. It's session 20.
I think it's session 3.
Actually, he's right. It is session 20. Wow.
Well, I feel like we could have gotten to this point by session 3.
You'd have to do a lot
Spend
of
so much goddamn time ritual casting speak with animals.
Okay, so you crazy kids. Last session, you were on the road, and you all opted to basically makeshift a kind of tent, a little bit of a shelter on the back of your caravan. And you, some of you got some decent sleep. Some of you got no sleep, and I hope that those of you who did not sleep took your point of exhaustion, as you must. And the reason you decided to do that is because you wanted to get to Candlekeep as fast as possible, as you didn't want to risk staying on the road for too much longer, given the altercation that you had with apparently seemingly a friend of the shield who came to get it. But the shield was convinced by Buru that it would be in better hands and more likely to get to Avernus with him. Nunu almost died, as I mentioned. But
From
he
his
didn't
own
die.
doing, should we all just so everyone's clear?
What?
From his own doing.
From his own doing, yes. Took a little bit of a gamble, which it kind of paid off, to give him some credit. He did, turn a 3 attacker encounter into a 1 attacker encounter.
Yeah, you're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, nobody's thanked you for that yet, but I'll give
they
you.
haven't, but it's fine.
I'll give you what's due.
I have a quick question though, Frank.
Yes.
Since we long rested, does the long rest count for non-PC?
Sorry, you cut out there.
Does a long rest count for non-PC players or things?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, sorry, for Kevin.
Yeah.
So Kevin was out in the rain. So in fact, not only does he get not get a long rest, he would have exhaustion as well.
Oh, good job, Kevin, you fucking idiot.
Slobberchops, on the other hand, is very well rested.
Won't you take care of the
Everybody
damn animals?
Party who has a point of exhaustion did so for the betterment of the group.
It seems that way.
Why are we listening to Whiterun? Why am I in Whiterun?
It's just ambient music while
For
he's
where you're headed.
explaining.
I feel ambient.
No, as
If
well.
I can see it now. I'm walking up on Dragon's Reach.
Dragon's Reach.
I didn't
Oh.
pick Skyrim music. It just says RPG playlist. Sorry.
I like it, Lemon.
Okay. I'm just setting one thing up for you guys, but just start thinking about kind of how you're going to approach the situation, which, as I laid out last time, there are 4 different monks that are approaching you as you make your way up the Lion's Way.
They're asking for payment.
Entry fee.
Oh, that's yes, and they asked you for your entry fee.
David, remind me, how many books did you give everybody? 4?
4.
3.
3. Okay.
Oh, 4.
It's 3. I gave everyone 3.
No, I think it's 4.
I think it's 4.
No, I know this because look at the books that I have. Hold on.
I have only 3.
Look at those books. You guys don't remember that?
Yeah, I only have 3. So that's fine. I think it was 3, but it's okay. Because I
4
think
first editions.
I think
No,
Nunu,
because
I think Nunu
Nunu
sold
sold
2.
3.
Oh, he sold 3.
So we have 4.
Sorry, guys, I'm really struggling to get this scene in order. I don't know why. It's very silly. This usually takes like 10 seconds.
Can't tell if my bitrate is fucked or if I'm just out of focus. Okay, better. Sorry. As you were.
very upsetting. It's okay. Just starting off with a little. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, there we go. I'm such a
Handsome fellow.
I'm so stupid, you know. And we are.
Frank, you want a curveball
What the fuck?
right now? A fast curveball?
Yeah, go ahead.
I like the unattune from the necklace. Go ahead.
You want to try it?
No, not right now. Seems tempting.
Does that not take an hour as well?
No, I think you can just drop it
Oh yeah?
under normal circumstances.
Yeah, true. Just drop it.
But yeah, so to answer your question, Simo, yeah, we sold
I have 4 as well. Yeah.
because I don't have over 100 gold. Sold for 25.
Can you turn up the gain on your mic, Ethan?
How's this, guys?
A little bit more?
How's this?
Well, split the difference.
Hold on.
Sorry,
Okay.
the noise gate was cutting you out for
Is
like half.
is
of your
this good?
sentences.
Is this good?
Beauty.
Sounds good.
You're a beauty, Krepe.
Okay.
Sir.
So they approach you and they ask you for your payment. Before you, I don't know if I went over the specifics, but before you stands, there are 3 monks in purple robes. There's a human, a shield dwarf, and a sun elf. Around their necks hangs the holy symbol of Denir, the god of writing, whose symbol is a lit candle above an open eye. Welcome to Candlekeep, says the elf in common. A gift is required from those seeking admittance. You must donate a book or a scroll that isn't already in the library's archives. Please present your gift for inspection.
Without hesitating, Gantash just takes out one of the rare books and passes it along to the elf.
Okay. And the other 2, the shield dwarf kind of with a oddly stern smile on his face, holds out his hands to the rest of you.
I'm going to take my backpack off, open it, showing the book, and tell them you'll have to take it out yourself, because if I touch it and give it to you, I might poison you.
Fair enough. And the dwarf comes over to grab your backpack and root around for the book, which he finds pretty quickly.
Do I have to give a payment for my 2 friends here, my animals? And I'll point to Sir Slobberchops and Kevin.
Are they vessels for a more intelligent creature?
They're pretty
Before
intelligent.
he has a chance to answer, Yoll just wants to go, no.
Thank you, because I didn't know the answer.
Then no, they won't require that.
Perfect. And
Imagine
I'll,
Slobberchops gets offended by that. He just overhears that and it's like, oh, I'm intelligent.
I'm gonna hand over a book to the dwarf as well.
Okay. And they start just kind of very diligently with soft fingers just leafing through the different pages, inspecting the back, the front. These are some very rare copies you have of these books. I must say, I don't believe we have these.
I'd like to take out all 4 that I have and say, please take your pick.
And the human comes up, kind of wiggling his fingers in delight, and just looks through. Oh, any of these will do. And he just takes the top one and just barely just kind of flips it over, just cracks it to a random page and closes it back up and stuffs it inside this little satchel that he's got with him.
I would give you them all, but you'll never know when I need to come back to Candlekeep.
And for yourself, and he comes over to Silas. No, the people who are from Candlekeep, I can't remember what I said last time, but I will say this time definitively, you do not recognize them. They all seem pretty young. Typically, the people who come up and are like the greeters, basically, are younger, more initiate status. So you don't really recognize these three.
I was thinking to ask, but I was like, it probably doesn't really matter. They would have noticed me if they knew who I was.
I'll pull out one of the 4 books that I have and hand it to him. Here you go.
And the dwarf kind of hurries over and grabs it, looks through. Are you all collectors of some sort?
You could say that.
Well, you'll be welcome back anytime. Well, come on in then, sir. And as they kind of walk you in, the big gate out front just lifts back up just a couple of feet of its basically 20-foot height. And you're able to walk in, and as you walk along, he asks you, so is there any particular thing that you needed while you're here, or did you want a tour, or were you just hoping to browse around the courtyard and the library?
Yes, we are here to see Sylvira. She's not expecting us, but we desperately need to see her.
Oh. It sounds like you know her.
I do. I was born here and left many years ago.
Why did you leave?
My journey took me to Elturel. I studied under Thavius Krieg. I was enamored with the companion. I wanted to learn more.
Seems like a reasonable decision. Most people don't leave, though. I'm sure you know that.
Gantash will smirk and say, I know. The world is much bigger beyond these walls.
Yes, but not always more clever. Well, I can bring you... just 1 second here.
Can I wreck on something?
Yeah.
Can I like when we walk into the? I'm guessing we're all walking. We're not bringing the cart in, right?
Yeah.
Can I be riding Kevin and Sir Slobberchops be in Kevin's little pouch?
Like just walking?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to leave him outside.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. He says, well, I can bring your things here. Now, you won't be able to take all of these creatures with you, of course, but I can bring your horses and give you a good place for them to stay, a nice warm place. We can provide them food, given the quality of your offerings. I can also go and see where Sylvira is at her studies. She may or may not wish to see you, though. I'll have you wait in the hearth, if that's suitable. The hearth is like the local pub in the main courtyard of Candlekeep.
Can you pass along that the late Kalashtar sent us?
And they all just kind of pause. Did you say late?
Yes.
Kalashtar is dead?
Unfortunately.
And they all just kind of like simultaneously bow their heads.
Gantash will join them.
I too will bow my head.
His missions were always secret, but I envision that he had a noble death.
Absolutely.
I will let her know. Oh. Okay. Just gonna give him a second
Yeah,
to
it's,
figure out what that. It's a little bit strange.
What?
He's-
Krepe still smells smoke.
Yeah.
Oh.
Noble death. You're caught with chains.
Hey, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here right now.
True.
We'd be fucking sitting on our butts. Baldur's Gate.
Gucci?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
someone across the hall burnt, I don't know, some fucking toast or something. Their door is open and they're wafting smoke into the hallway.
Oh,
Classic.
very classic. Okay, so at this, he just kind of says, "Well, will you wait at the hearth, and I'll go speak with her?"
Yes.
I can't bring the animals with me.
No, unfortunately, these buildings are not built to house them, and I assure you they will be taken care of by the greatest animal keepers you've ever met. They will be fed, and they will be warm.
I'm gonna look at Gantash. Can I trust them?
Absolutely, Nunu.
Okay. I'll hop off Kevin and just lead them to where you need to be, where you want them, and they'll listen.
I will take them. And he just goes, and he like kind of puts his arm around Kevin and like kind of ushers him out. It's a little bit of a weird sight as he, awkwardly stomps his way out.
I'll shout back to them. Make sure you feed the cat in the pouch extra food. He likes his meat.
Then meat he will have.
Okay. All right.
Are they
And
taking
you see them
the
kind of just
horses
make their
too?
way across the courtyard. So Gantash, you know exactly where the hearth is located. It's just kind of at the inside the middle of the courtyard there on the lowest level, just straight to the back. It's basically right next to the pathway that would lead you up further up the path towards the higher towers.
Sorry, this guy took the horses too, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I look back at the group. Kind of like I have this picture in my mind that I look like Miss Frizzle from the school bus. This way. This way.
By the way, Krepe, the horses have names. It's Pete and Fred.
Okay.
Come on.
Actively writing that down right now.
Yep.
Okay, in my notes.
In
Am I the
case
one-
I get a
what?
scroll of Speak with Animals.
Am I the only one that keeps animal names down? Am I the only one that writes that shit down?
Did you write Sylvaria's name down?
Nope.
Well, there we go. There we go. Different strokes for different folks, you know?
This is my surprised face.
I'm gonna have a druid only one shot for Ethan.
Oh fuck yes! Let's go.
Okay. So, you walk your way over to the hearth. So inside this, inside the pub, it has a low ceiling. So they were pretty correct about, a pterodon not feeling too comfortable in there. So low ceiling, supported by massive wooden cross beams and narrow shuttered windows. There's a large fire pit in the middle of the room, and it is surrounded by a half dozen tables and matching benches. Comfortably, you could probably imagine about 30 people sitting there at any given time. There is only one patron currently in this pub, and it is an ogre wearing a fairly bright yellow headband. And if you guys all want to just toss me out a Arcana check.
Ooh.
17.
I think a 24 will be okay, right?
Yeah, 17. Okay. So basically anyone 15 or above, you recognize that the headband that he's wearing is actually a magic item that is a headband of intellect.
Whoa.
And it is and keep in mind, this is an ogre. He is huge, and he's sitting just in a corner tucked away by himself, and he's reading a book.
Can I tell what book he's reading?
What's the book made out of? Sorry.
What are the wooden beams made of? Okay. Yeah, so you can. So you would just have to move in a little bit closer. But you can absolutely see it if you just take a step close enough and you're willing to. The book is called The Sum of Theology by Saint Sylvira.
Does that mean anything to me? Do I recognize anything?
Give me a religion check.
15.
15. So Saint Sylvira, is a servant of Ogma.
Hey. Let's go.
Servant of Sugma?
Yeah, Sugma. She's got a last name if you want to know it.
What's the last name?
Not interested. Thank you, though.
Balls.
Oh, nice.
No, it's Saint Sylvira, servant of Ogma. Outside of that, there is just a fairly friendly-looking gentleman, a human, in a like a black apron, very simple rolled-up sleeves. It's pretty jacked, actually. Just the barkeep behind the bar that's just at the back, and like I said, tucked into the corner back there is that ogre. Silas and Gantash, though he's not really looking at you guys coming in, he seems to be pretty busy in his work. Mm-hmm. You recognize this gentleman from across the way.
I will approach the desk, or like the countertop.
Okay. Now I do have to ask Silas, what are you doing?
How do I recognize? Can I ask that?
Yeah, he's been the barkeep for quite a while. His name is Bart.
Gotcha. That's the guy with the headband.
No, you don't recognize the ogre
behind the bar. Okay.
The guy behind the bar you recognize. You don't recognize the ogre.
I'm getting confused.
Listening to the sentence explains the sentence.
I'm gonna mute Krepe.
But I do need to ask you, what is Silas doing right now?
I'll go up to the bar with Gantash.
Okay, and you know this guy.
Do we know his name?
Yeah, his name's Bart.
Bart, sorry.
Okay. Yep.
And
no, order a drink.
Okay.
I guess as I walk up, like he's like polishing a glass or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his back turned to you, so you can't exactly see what he's doing.
Is that Bart the barkeep?
and he just perks up and just slowly like turns. And he looks at your group. Now, did the rest of you follow these guys up too?
Yeah, I'm gonna be following Gantash.
I found the most comfortable chair, and I am sitting my ass down.
Specifically,
I'm gonna
I'm
go with
following
I'm gonna go
Gantash
with-
so close that I cast a shadow and I look menacing.
That's your goal?
Yeah, because you're an 8-foot tall bull, and that's not menacing enough.
But I just have a smile on my face.
So you see this guy, he's back there. He's about 5'10", again, just like big bulging like muscles when he turns to you. He just looks over at all of you, and then he kind of instantly he kind of has a smile on his face when he sees you, Gantash, and he goes to speak, and then he turns and he sees Silas standing beside you, and he immediately just kind of like just waves to the seats and says, "A drink, of course. Gantash, what are you having?"
Oh, Bart, it's been too long. I think for old time's sake, you should surprise me.
Okay, and you can see he's like looking between you and Silas right now, and like when he like stops and like starts looking at you, he's like, "Yeah, for old time's sake, I will. Let me just mix something up here." And he like kind of swallows hard, and he goes back to what he was, turns around and starts like mixing something up. He like seems like, when he first turned to you, he seemed like very jolly, and now he seems like a little bit more tense. And he says, "Oh, anything for the rest of you while I'm doing this?"
What's up, Bart? Looks like you might have seen a ghost or something.
Not really a ghost, Silas, but somebody who probably shouldn't be here right now.
Oh, they let me in.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah. The newbies will do that.
I'll have whatever Gantash is having.
Okay. I don't know how long this is gonna last.
And can you do me a favor, Bart?
Of course.
That Tortle, sitting alone, just your finest ale, and the most of it, in your biggest glass.
Now that I can make happen. And he pulls out, like, he just goes underneath and he pulls out this, like, just massive stein. Even, like, catches the ogre's attention. He just, like, kind of looks up. And it is just this huge, almost like the size of, like, one of those fish bowls, certain bars serve. And he just pulls it out.
And turn to Nunu and go, "I knew I liked this place."
I wonder if they have a smaller glass for me.
Do you say this out loud?
Well, how tall is the bar? Like, do I have to like hop up on a stool so he can see me?
Well, Yoll, did you take a seat just at like a table, or did you sit at the bar?
I guess for the sake of being closer to the action, I'll sit at the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll clamber on top of one of the stools just so I can see on top of the bar.
Okay. He says, you two little guys, same thing. You're looking for you want the same drink as your pal there?
Yeah, but I that glass is too big for someone like me. It's almost the size of me, so
Yeah. We don't want to give you a swimming pool. I'll
You got
Not
any
yet.
thimbles back there?
No, I'll see what I can make happen. And he actually pulls out this like fairly mundane looking, like just a little bigger than a shot glass. It's like this steel mug, and he looks to you and he like kind of swirls it around in his hand, and you can see that the mundane, just gray steel just has this like pattern kind of carved into it that he's got like a turtle shell on the back, and it's like a frog on the other side. He just like whips up this quick spell that just changes the shape of the outside of the mug. Pours you guys both your ales really quickly and then plops them in front of you. Yoll, you've got this like massive thing that is basically as round as your chest. And he just looks at you, he points, he says, I'm counting on you to finish that.
Clearly, we've never met.
What's that?
Said clearly we've never met. I'll take a big swig.
All right.
Gantash. Gantash also slides over just 2 gold across the countertop.
Do we not know how economy works in this universe? What
Bro, Gantash made like $1,000 off the bathhouse and just gave it all away. All right, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. All right,
You're not.
Fair enough.
he's generous to the people that he loves.
You love this guy?
Yes, he's like I don't know. I'm gonna guess he's like an uncle or brother or something. You know, like
He's
He's your
just
barkeep. He's your bartender.
You've known him for a long time.
I've known him for a long time.
Yeah.
He's a bro.
He's a bro.
So he says, so he kind of like puts a gold coin under each finger and he pulls one in and he says, I appreciate the tip. This is for the drinks and that'll cover your tip. And this will keep me quiet for about an hour. And he looks at Silas. And he just kind of looks back to Yoll and he says, Gantash, it looks like you've made some good friends.
Both good and bad. Good and bad, Bart.
Well, hopefully you didn't bring the bad ones in here, did you?
I'd hope not.
Gantash, you're a little bit more wild than I remember you. Too much time in Elturel, too much time away from this bastion of knowledge.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm gonna like step forward and like I'm gonna like crouch down to Gantash's like face, like right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And my big hand, I'm gonna be like, "Can I have a water?" I was like, "What? Wait, do you have like a cask of water I could have?"
Yeah, water's free. And if it wasn't, this would have covered it. So, and he just basically pulls out this big wooden thing. It literally looks like a little keg, almost like a little thing. He just fills it up, slides it over to you, and puts in front of Gantash and Silas this fairly strong-looking drink with a big circular ice cube in the middle of it. It looks almost like whiskey. And as he slides the one over to Silas, he just like stares at him again and just, I hope you drink that quick.
Maybe they've forgotten. We'll see.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yoll, in his like exhausted stupor and also probably halfway through this beer by now, just goes, "What did you do to piss him off?"
I would like to also know this, Silas.
Oh, well, I mean, I was told not to come back to Candlekeep, so.
Why?
That might have been a good thing to know before we left for Candlekeep.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, Gantash knew, but I guess you guys didn't know.
Secrets
While I'm
now.
chugging this cask of water with both my hands, from the side you can see my eye just like I hear Silas say what he says, and I just look, I put it down, like, yeah. What did you do? I'm gonna put the cask down and stare at Silas.
Mike, Frank.
Oh, we're in the webcam.
Let's go, baby.
Are we good?
Yeah. Now we're back in.
So after that, Bart also just kind of like puts his elbows on the table and leans in. He says, yeah, I've never really heard it from your mouth.
I stole some items from some professors here.
I'm
that were-
gonna facepalm immediately when I hear this.
Gantash
Yeah.
has like his head in his drink and he just shakes it and takes a sip. He's kind of like not in the conversation. He doesn't really want to be.
It was a long time ago.
Gantash, are you sitting next to me?
I guess.
I'm just gonna put my hand on your shoulder. Be like, it would have been real nice if you told us that before we got here.
Oh, I think. And I look up at Bart and I say, it's a little more important as we're all here. As the world needs us to be here.
You hear that, Bart? We're saving the world.
Yeah. Just maybe your friend should keep a close eye on you on your travels.
I try.
Well, wasn't as exciting of a story as I thought. But like I said, you've got an hour of my lips being sealed. That's for sure.
Silas, are you wanted here? Like, is there a bounty out for your head
Oh,
in
no.
in this city?
No, there's just the number one cardinal rule of Candlekeep is not to steal.
Okay, so and if they find out that you're here, that you've returned, what are they going to do to you? What are they going to do to us?
They won't.
I don't know.
I wouldn't
They won't
worry
what?
about that, Nunu.
They won't find out he's here, or they won't do anything about him being here.
I mean, they might kick me out. They're not gonna, they're not a violent.
Yeah. Nunu, this isn't
It's
a
not
violent city.
place.
Sounds like a pretty lame city, if you ask me. Then
I'll ignore that.
I'm gonna like put my hand in my cask and like flick water at Nunu, and just
In its fucking element.
fucking right, baby.
Vibing.
On you, I like that.
Nunu.
Yes,
Everything
Mr.
you could possibly imagine. Anything you'd want to know. This would be the place to find out.
Well, I have a lot of questions about. Bet you they don't have a lot of things on Grungs, do they?
I bet
said so
you
yourself.
I bet you they have something. Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
It has to be interesting for someone to want to go looking for it, Nunu.
How much psychological damage did I just fucking take there? Holy
Emotional.
emotional!
But he's like not
damage.
even saying it to be a diss. He's just like exhausted and doesn't really have a filter anymore. And he's just like, whatever.
That beer's kicking.
He's like just trying to like have a conversation, engage in the conversation. Well, it has to be interesting for someone to go looking for it.
Well, I think us Grungs in our society is very interesting. You wouldn't know since you never decided to come visit my homeland, unlike I did with you, Yoll. Shows how much of a friend you are, Yoll.
I'm just gonna look at everybody else and go, business partners at the most.
While the conversation has been going on too, I'd like to finish my drink as well.
Okay.
Just
Down
Silas is getting a little tipsy.
Okay. Well, it's a decently strong drink, but it wasn't poured like super heavy, so you're not going to get drunk off of it, but you're definitely able to
And
crush it pretty
Silas
quick.
gets
Is there
drunk
anything
because his
cool?
blood
I'll
alcohol
order another one then.
Is there
Yeah,
anything
can
cool
Silas
about
get
it?
What? I thought we talked about that before.
What?
The alcohol. I can get drunk
Yeah.
because we had that conversation before.
Oh, we
Yeah,
have.
you can. Just not off of this one.
Yeah.
So-
I'll ask him for another drink. Sorry.
I want to
I'm drinking that.
lean. Because since we're sitting at a bar, I don't know what the pecking order is, but I'm guessing I'm not sitting beside Gantash.
No,
So
you're
I'm gonna
beside
lean-
Yoll.
Okay, I figured. So I'm gonna like lean forward as far as I can. Actually, I'm just gonna hop on top of the bar. Is there enough room for me to hop on top of the bar?
Sure.
Okay, I'll hop on top of the bar and Gantash, I have a request while we're here.
Yes, Nunu.
I would like to take a look at your archives, if possible.
Or
the books. Am I allowed to do that?
Oh, Nunu. Oh, you're precious.
Also,
No,
when
you
you-
can't do that. And he takes another sip of his drink.
Well, you said that anything I wanted to know, I can find out here.
He said any piece of information you could care about is here. He didn't say
Yes.
you could have it.
Okay. I don't want it. I just want to know. I want to know what kind of information they have on Grungs here. I can maybe.
You know what,
help
Nunu?
fill out.
We'll put in a special request with Sylvira. We'll ask her when we get upstairs.
Thank
Deal?
you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much, Gantash. Thank you.
Bart, by the way, takes out like a bar rag like as soon as this conversation's over, and he like slides it across the bar, and it just like slips underneath your feet and like lifts you and it like comes off the bar and lifts you and just magically like sits you down on the bar, and then it just whips back to his like underneath his.
Damn.
That's so cool.
How do I get one of those?
Sorry, Mr. Bartender. It's just my friend here. He's too big for me to look around, so I needed to have a conversation with Mr. Gantash here.
Yeah, I understand. Rules are rules, though.
Well, I don't see no sign that saying I can't stand on the bar.
Name one bar that you can stand on the bar in. Name one.
If there's no rule posted, I can do it.
Yeah. Gantash, you got some weird friends, man.
Why do you think I tipped you?
I'm gonna turn to Bart and go business partners.
We shared a tent once, okay, Yoll? We shared a tent.
Listen, Bart.
Did you sleep, Nunu?
I think I did. I believe I did. I believe
Everybody did except
I
for me.
slept in the rain because I specifically asked you if it was going to be.
Yes. Yeah.
What happens if I sprinkle salt on Nunu? Does he just bubble up?
No.
It's actually I actually take 4 times damage to salt. Fun fact. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I mean, isn't his body all like scalded and scabby?
Right now, yes.
Oh yeah, it's
technically.
Oh,
well, no,
yeah.
you
Smell like
you
French
rested.
cuisine. I forgot.
Little
But
uglier
yeah, it's
than
still pretty
usual.
mangled from that. You know, you've got scars for sure. You've got pretty bad scarring. Okay, so Silas, he does, by the way, I'll kind of go back here a bit. He does, as he's kind of having these conversations, he just instinctively like grabs your glass after you ask for another one and pulls it back behind the bar, whips you up another little mixture, throws it back up in front of you. Says that one's still covered. Got a little bit left on that payment.
Mr. Bird, I have a question for you. I'm just gonna interrupt because no one's saying anything. I just want to fill the silence. How'd you? And I'm gonna pick up my glass and like move it around. And like, how'd you do this? Like, how'd you carve this so quickly?
Carve.
Because you said it has a symbol of a frog on it. And
Oh yeah, yeah. And he goes, well, there's just certain things you learn around these parts. You stick around long enough and you learn a couple of things, and he actually just grabs your mug, and you can see like just beneath his fingers, like the metal's like kind of bending and moving around a little bit. And when he removes his hand, it just like the words, "It just takes time," just comes across your
huh. Neat.
It is neat. And I say it took me a while though.
Can't get this at the elf song, can you, Yoll?
Yoll just gets like kind of sad. It's just like, no, nope.
Silas?
I wanted to walk over to that
Ogre.
the ogre. Jesus.
He's huge.
In the
He's
corner.
He's significantly bigger.
Is he bigger than Buru?
Yes.
He's
No,
an
he's not.
ogre.
He's significantly bigger.
No, he's not. Don't hurt Buru's feelings.
I'd like to walk over to him with my drink
Okay.
and sit down at his table.
Oh, good. The person who's not allowed in this town is just going to start introducing himself to people all willy nilly.
Yep.
As you get up to walk away, Bart just kind of like watches you go, and he leans into Gantash and he just says, "They're gonna kick him out of here if they find him."
I know. We'll try to be quick. We're not here for long, Bart.
Yeah. Sounds like you got some important stuff to do, though.
Absolutely.
So Silas, you go over and you just plop yourself down across from this ogre.
Mm-hmm. So ogre.
And the ogre kind of like looks up over the book, and the book is tiny in his hands. And he just looks up over the book, pulls it back down, licks this just like the tiniest little bit of his finger, and just flips the page and continues to read. Just says, "Well, you're welcome to sit there if you'd like." Never heard an ogre speak like this in your life.
What are you reading there?
If you must know, it's a philosophical book. And you can see the title, The Sum of Theology by Saint Vithira.
Sounds interesting, I guess. That headband you're wearing, where'd you get it?
And he closes the book,
Friendly.
puts it down on the table.
Your mic.
Your microphone,
Breaks his mic.
Frankfurter.
I'm gonna buy you a mic one day, Frank.
No, he needs a new computer, remember?
Oh yeah, and
Oh, he needs a new car.
He's
Yeah,
another basement, like one floor below his floor.
A submission.
I need a new foundation in my house. And he just says, "It was an unfortunate incident that brought me this headband. And I haven't taken it off since. It's been several years now.
Gotta be
If
30.
you must know, I killed someone for it. But that was a former time in a former life of mine."
I ain't here to judge you. My name is Silas, by the way.
It's lovely to meet you, Silas. And I appreciate the lack of judgment. Just getting his name. You can call me Little One. That's what I'm known by around here. And I refuse to go by my old name.
What was your old name? Don't mind me asking.
Clearly
Well,
he does.
It's better off not being said.
It's Voldemort, if you have to
Why is
know.
And why is that?
Well, I told you how a previous version of myself, a more brutish one, murdered somebody for this. Well, that somebody was called Little One. He was a little gnome. And I've adopted his name, and I will carry on his legacy and not taint it by you muddling it with the previous version of myself's name. Does that
Is this
sound fair to
conversation
you?
loud enough to be heard by everybody else?
Sure.
Yeah. Did we hear the word murder?
Sure. Yeah, you hear it all. I mean, so the bar is at the back, and he is literally tucked in the corner. You could be like kitty corner to not be able to hear it, but you guys are lined up here. So the closest person in the way I'm envisioning this is probably Nunu on the end,
Yeah.
Buru on the opposite end, but you can all still hear it. It's not like, if somebody was in front of you, but you can pick it up.
So what you're saying is you took the identity of the person you murdered, essentially.
The legacy.
Well, and his name.
Correct. Do you take issue?
No issue. I was actually just interested in your headband, and I was wondering if, maybe there's something I could offer you. Maybe a
Offer
trade.
me. I don't think you're understanding. Do you know what this does?
I believe it's a headband of intellect.
That's right. You are well studied as well. And you would know that if I take this off, I'm no longer little one. I'm no longer dedicated to knowledge and learning.
And
I
you've no
become-
longer got a head, I shout to Silas.
A smart friend, a wise friend, I would say.
You're
You ever
saying
met-
if you take that off, you go back to your previous self.
Unfortunately, yes.
Got you. I see what you're saying now.
So what would you trade for not just my own life, but the legacy of someone who was brutally murdered early, far too early?
I'm not really concerned about, that person's legacy. But I do understand that if you get rid of that headband now, that your old self will show itself pretty quickly.
It would.
And maybe a little bar in Candlekeep is not the place to do something like that.
Nor is it the time.
It's not the time.
Do you know when the time would be?
No.
At the end of my natural life is when I will remove it. You can have it then. It's free. You don't even have to trade for it.
Maybe I'll take you up on that offer.
Stick around long enough. You can have it.
What are you gonna say, Simo?
During this conversation, Gantash kind of like bows his head, sticks out his hand, and says a little prayer to little one. Just to himself.
The original little one.
The original little one, that's correct.
Oh, I see.
The littlest one.
Yeah.
The gnome.
Kind of under his breath, not too loud, just kind of like to pay respect to the gnome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put the casket down and walk towards the door, and then just kind of look towards the way of the ogre, be like, still murder. Just keep walking towards the entrance.
We're
I'm
really
sitting at
good
the
at just
table?
picking fights. Holy fuck.
Wait, that's what you said?
Still a murderer, yeah. But guy's lawful good, for God's sakes.
Okay.
Have you seen some of the shit that you've done?
Lawful good, by the way.
No,
Yeah,
no,
what,
Yoll's
what did we
saying
kill that's
this.
not evil? Go ahead.
Okay. So sorry, and you start walking away.
My Buru's getting tired of this bar because there's obviously things that we have to do. So I'm about
Well,
to
we
go
have to
try and
wait
do that.
here. We have to wait here.
Yeah, we're waiting for Sylvira
Yeah,
here.
but my character also has other stuff. So
Okay. So as you basically say that, Bart goes, whoa, 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 no, 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 and the ogre stands up and like is really like crouching down to like maneuver his way underneath the rafters, and kind of just moves his way very quickly, like he's taking long strides still. He seems very practiced at moving through this space, and he like stands up tall, head like between the rafters basically, and he just stands in front of you, Buru, and he says, I've made my repentance clear. They wouldn't accept me in here if that wasn't the case. So no, who I am now is not still a murderer. If you don't forgive yourself, then you can't begin to live your own life. You'll be stuck in the past, and everyone has their own problems, their own demons to deal with. And I've dealt with mine. So no. Do you understand?
carrying a legacy. And that is your life now.
That's right. I've dedicated myself to carrying on the legacy of Little One, who perished too soon to a brute.
Who is?
Who is dead.
And I'm just gonna nod and then face the other way. Face towards the door.
And book in hand, he's still standing tall in the rafters. Says, Bart, I'll be back tomorrow when it's a little quieter. And he tucks down, makes his way out, and just heads up towards the taller spires of the castle. So, Buru, did you say you stepped outside?
I want to step outside, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything particular that you're looking to do?
Well, how am I supposed to get... I guess I could ask Bart. I don't know, what do I see outside as soon as I step outside the bar?
So outside there is, it's a pretty large, actually I'm going to bring it up just so I don't get anything wrong here. Actually, not the fastest way to do this is going to be. Well, fuck my life.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water while he's looking something up.
I want to give you a pretty good description here. Okay. So you are currently in what is known as the Court of Air. So it is a very, very wide open court. So if you step out basically directly to your left and behind you, there are the wall of the court. So across the way is the gate. And behind you and to the left, there is a wide open gate. There's two turrets on either side. So it's like a separate sectioned off area. There are several buildings that line the interior of the wall all the way around. On the left side, that entire wall is basically taken up by what seems to be almost like different like gardening buildings. There's different greenery that's covering the buildings. They're all circular, basically like giant, wide and tall and like different shaped cylinders. And there is like one entrance into that area. It's like a smaller wall. You can enter into that area. On the right-hand side, there are several different, just totally different shaped buildings. One of them, from the distance, you can tell is some sort of small temple. Oh, and sorry, and one of them is the stable. It's a big, long building with a gray roof right next to the entrance. That's like a big stable, which is where the horses and Pterodon and Cat were taken.
You're saying this part, the court of air, is sectioned off by walls too?
Yeah, so it's basically like you entered through the gate. There's this section.
That's the
And then
court
there's
of air, right?
Then there's another gate that leads you up higher into the whole area.
So basically, if I wanted to go deeper into Candlekeep, there's another gate.
It's
right?
open though. It's wide open.
Oh. Huh. Guess I'm just gonna sit outside and watch for now.
Okay. Okay. The air is still pretty cold out there. It's a little bit damp still, but not raining by any means. Just the air is kind of cold and carrying some water particles, making it a little bit more chilly. Back inside, you guys are you just turn to see Bart a little dumbfounded. And he just goes, yeah, this hour's going by a little bit slower than I expected it to. But I'll stick to my word. I won't say anything for an hour.
I'm sorry, Bart. At least I'm happy to see you here.
I am happy to see you too, Gantash. I really am. And
I'm happy to see you too, Bart.
And he kind of like chuckles. He goes, I'm happy to see you too. What's your name again?
Yoll thinks about it for a second. Goes, Yoll. It's
Yoll.
Yoll.
How deep are you into that drink, Yoll?
Probably 3/4.
Okay, you're gonna make that Constitution saving throw. Given that you've got exhaustion, you're making it at disadvantage.
Here we go.
Wait, exhaustion already makes it -1.
What's that?
Doesn't exhaustion already make it -1?
No, exhaustion gives you
Disadvantage.
Oh, that's way worse.
Disadvantage on all skill checks.
Yeah, that's right.
Blows.
Yep.
It does blow. Wow. You are a fucking tank. And despite being tired, that is the only thing that will afflict you at this current time. And you're just powering on. You barely even feel it. You're hammering through this thing, and you're just tired.
Through that.
Okay. So a few minutes go by, and Buru outside, you can see it's very quiet outside. There's very few people moseying around. There's just a couple of the monks moving around. You see there's like a dwarven woman, and she has like a small dwarven child, her son with her. And you can see him like excitedly like pointing at things. Every once in a while, a monk in those purple robes will kind of like walk across the courtyard and like see the kid and just kind of like chuckle and keep his head down and go on his way. Most of them carrying some sort of book or pile of books, just moseying about. And while you're out there, you see very hurriedly moving coming from the upper levels through the gate and just very quickly making her way to the hearth, just kind of breezes right past you, is a tiefling, totally red skin, red horns, with just black hair, smooth back, wearing this like puffy shouldered, gold emblazoned shirt with a high gold collar, just runs right past you and bursts her way into the hearth.
I'm still sitting in that cubby like facing the corner where the orc was sitting.
Unless you changed your mind and wanted to go somewhere
Ogre.
else.
No, I'm
It's an ogre.
sorry, ogre. Jeez. I'm kind of like, well, you said it's in the back left corner from the
That's
bar.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
so I'm not really looking at that direction. I'm looking
That's
at
right.
wherever the ogre was sitting.
Yep. And she just bursts in the door, kind of quietly, but very, very quickly.
How does one burst into a room quietly?
Swings the door open. Doesn't make a whole lot of noise.
Like you're late for an appointment,
Queen.
but you don't want to intrude on anyone else sitting in the lobby, you know?
Yeah, like
You're
that.
late for an appointment and you're frustrated, but you're only frustrated at yourself and you don't want to make it an inconvenience for the people around you.
Yeah.
And I respect
And,
the fuck out of that.
She immediately makes her way across the room, sits down at the empty seat between, or well, actually now not between Buru because he's not there, but basically on the other side of Gantash.
He kind of
And
just
she
like
sits down.
surprised me. I was like,
Oh, nice.
And she just slowly and awkwardly turns like this to Gantash and just stares until you turn. To
no,
her.
Ogma be praised. And I stretched my arms out, leaning in for a hug.
And she just puts her hand up and just puts her finger out. No reason for celebration just yet, Gantash. There are things that we have to do. You can put your hands down. But yes, Ogma be praised. Who are your friends here?
These are This is my team. We've done a lot of work together, and all will be explained, even him. And I point into the corner where Silas is sitting. Even him.
And she quickly looks. She's very mousy the way she's moving, and and she just pops off her chair and just walks over and pulls the chair from across. She just very very determined, very precise movement. Just grabs the chair, picks it up, slides it over directly way too close to Silas, and sits down to the point where her elbow is touching you on your side, and just goes, "You are not supposed to be here. Were you aware of that?"
Well, they let me in, and I'm here.
Yes.
On an important mission.
The purple robes will typically not know faces.
Gantash will get off his chair and kind of slowly walk over. I know how it looks, Sylvira, but I need him. I need every single one of them.
I suppose I can make an exception for the time being, but here, put this on. And she just reaches into this pouch she's carrying, and it's literally just a hood. It's literally just a hood, and there's a little almost like a bonnet tie on the bottom of it. And it comes to a point, and she just hands it and just keeps it in her hand until Silas takes it.
You want me to wear that?
Well,
No, she wants you to shit in it.
I know.
You'll should we go join him at the table? Or, actually, I'm better. No, you should probably. I'm gonna go join them at the table. You should stay here. I'm gonna look at Bart. Keep an eye on him, just for a little bit, if you don't mind.
and he just goes, "I don't think I need to. He's holding it down on his own. I didn't think he'd make it through all that, to be honest. But I will."
Professional.
He's a tough one. And I'll hop off the stool and I'll saunter on over to the table and
She goes,
stand. And I'll hop on the table because I'm gonna guess that chairs are not made for Nunu sized things. So in order to see everybody. I'll just
Yeah,
sit
you'd
on
probably
the far
need
side
to
of
be
the
up
Long
there.
jump onto the table. Long jump.
I'll long jump from the bar stool to the table.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a little pirouette.
Hold on, let me just check my long jump.
15 feet.
You'll be all right.
25. No, my long jump is 25 feet
25
Beautiful.
feet. Oh my goodness.
without running or anything like that. Just a standing long jump.
She says, well, no, I don't want you to defecate into this. You need to put it on your head.
Maybe shit on it first then.
Nope. That will defeat the purpose. We want to draw less attention to ourselves.
I'll just take it from her hand.
Okay. And it's a dark green thing. It's like it's almost like when you look at it, you're just like, this is it doesn't match the rest of your clothes. You get the idea that putting this on would draw attention to yourself to the point where people would be like, why is that guy wearing a hood? That's the kind of ridiculous shape this thing is or whatever. It would arc well over your face, probably stand out about a half a foot in front. Just, well, put it on.
I mean, I have a disguise kit. I could just, if you need a disguise.
There's no time. There's no time.
All right, I'll just put it on. I'll just put it on.
Very good. Very good. No one will recognize you with that.
I'm sure they won't.
She goes, what is that smell?
Oh god.
And she whiffs over to where Nunu is standing. A grung.
Shit.
Well, I haven't seen one of you in a very long time. Is your skin, does it still have the poison?
That depends. Who's asking?
And she's very seriously oh, I did. That was me. Sometimes I throw my voice.
Well, I'm only going to answer that question on one condition. I get to see what information you have on grungs.
On grungs?
Yes.
That's fine.
Then yes, it's still the poison if you want to feel it. I'll offer my hand out. If you want to feel it, if you want to see for yourself, I have it.
Ha! That's a good one. No, thank you. I didn't care that much, actually. And the library is open to anyone, so that's fine.
I'm gonna look at Gantash and say, "It's open to anybody." You told me I had to get permission from her.
You asked for the archives.
Nunu,
Yeah, then I asked for information on grungs.
if you couldn't tell by Sylvira's attitude, you need to be very specific about what you ask for in this building, in this keep. If you're not specific, you won't get specific answers. For someone who's all business, this place is all business. If you haven't realized.
Gantash, will we have time after telling Sylvaris why exactly we're here? Will we have time to stop by the library?
With a very delayed reaction, I'm gonna burst through the door and look at Sylvaria and don't touch that child.
God damn it! Buru, I'm not a child. I don't know how many times you have to go over this. I am not a child. I'm well into my adulthood. Just as I'm 16 does not mean... Am I 16? Hold on. I actually don't remember.
I think you are.
And I'm in this big wide stance still looking at him.
Sorry, I'm 14, but...
Kind of, what is she trying to do here?
I am an adult, okay? I'm 14. I'm an adult. I'm not a child.
Yes.
He's right.
Will we have enough time after we tell her what's going on
Yes,
for me to
Nunu.
visit the library?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Maybe.
We will see about that.
Well,
I'm
if we don't have
glad.
time, I want to go to that library right now. If we don't have time, I need to visit that library.
No.
No. And I'm gonna look at Sylvaria when she says no. I'm just gonna nod my head who are you? I have no idea who this chick is.
By the way, her name is Simo has a really hard time with it. It's Sylvira.
Sylvira. Oh my god.
Sylvira.
Vira.
She's Ethan. She's not an animal. You don't have to write this down.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Sylvira.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna. When she says no, I'm gonna look at her and smile and be like, "Who are you?"
I am Sylvira. In your name,
Buru.
Buru. Do you have a last name, Buru?
Splendor.
Blendar.
Splendor. Yes.
There's a Vitamix joke in there.
Oh
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's one of those in front of my neighbor's door right now.
Was your father
Why?
ninja or Vitamix?
My brother was a ninja. Father was.
Your family lives quite a long time.
Oh my god.
She goes, well, I am Sylvira Savikas, and I believe that I'm the reason that you're here. As long as you're with this group, which it sounds like you are.
Yes.
Never seen him in my life.
I have also never seen him in my life. I'm just kidding.
Gantash rolls his eyes.
I'm
Well-
just gonna make no. I'm just not gonna flinch or anything. I'm just gonna look at her.
And she kind of like seems a little distracted. And she like gets up and she's like sniffing the air and she like goes over to you. You're quite tired, aren't you?
Yes?
We can fix that. You must be in perfect condition to hear what we have to talk about.
Wow.
Let's go.
I just want to ask. This is like how she acts, right? Like this isn't out of the ordinary. Okay, I just wanted to be sure. Okay.
Silas? Did you put that DM question? Did you put the hood on?
Yeah, and I want to. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
It like cuts off right here. So you can, there's like neck.
Yeah, it's like
It doesn't
bonnet.
even-
Yeah,
It's like a bonnet.
yeah.
As I'm going to
I'll
Yoll
be
to be
taking
like,
it off when she's not looking at me.
as I'm going to Yoll, be like, oh, too tired to go to the bathroom. You just did it right there, huh? And I'm gonna see like in the corner where Silas was, like, oh, where'd Silas go? As a joke.
What?
Very funny, Buru.
Made two jokes there. We're clearly Yoll.
And I didn't get either of them.
Because she sniffed and said, like,
Yeah.
oh, you're tired. I'm just saying, like, you're too tired to go to the bathroom, meaning you just shit yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Oh.
And you couldn't see me. Yeah.
Yeah, she totally doesn't. She doesn't get what you're.
No.
Sorry, I was too busy staying up all night to get your sorry asses here on time.
A noble cause. Well, let's go.
Let's go, Sylvira.
Yeah, Buru, let's go. Also, nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too. What was your name? Mm-hmm.
Belly guy? I'm Yoll.
Nice to meet you, Yoll. I'm Sylvira Savikas. We need to go now. And she just like stomps her way out into the courtyard.
Gantash will keep pace.
I'll fall.
I like her. I'm gonna fucking torpedo out there. I'm fascinated by this character.
As we leave the tavern, I'm in the back of the group. I'm taking the hood off.
Okay.
So,
And she
wait,
so
without her. Well, I want to do it without her noticing.
I know.
Like she.
I know.
Okay.
she's waiting outside.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll do it when we start like moving.
When you start
towards
hoofing?
somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she kind of like stands outside and head counts. Okay. And then she like nods and starts just trekking it up.
Where's what's her face? The redheaded chick.
Rhea.
Rhea.
Oh yeah, she's with you. I totally fucking I left her behind. Fuck. Oh, I know.
She's with the animals. Fuck.
No,
God
she's-
damn.
I
God
know.
damn.
I know mentally why I made that mistake.
Also,
Because of
I
the
haven't-
books,
I
right?
haven't been able to see this map the entire time it's been black. I don't have a character with sight. Sorry, I
Oh.
didn't want to bring it up because
Yeah, I
Really
only
getting
see the
into it.
castle.
There's
That's
no
all I've been
actual
able to
map.
Yeah,
it's
that's only
just a
castle.
picture.
So I-
But he
I
can't
just
see the
black,
castle.
so
He can't see
I
the
just see
castle.
black. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Everybody
There
else
you
can
go.
see it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see it. I see it now.
Okay. Yeah, so I know why I totally whiffed on the Rhea thing. I apologize for that. It's because her token was covered on the previous thing. so.
She's not that important, nor is she particularly interesting.
Yeah.
It's only 25 feet tall. That's not that big.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could long
that's
jump
right.
that.
Yeah, you
I
could
could
just
like
Oh, you
Long
could,
jump to the top of the-
clear the whole
the top of the
thing.
library
castle?
for ants.
Red Bull Grung Sports.
Oh God. Okay. So she just paces along, just doesn't look back, just hauls it all the way up to the upper level. So you go through actually not only the courtyard you were in, there's another courtyard straight across, another courtyard, and then it's the fourth kind of landing where you're surrounded by these massive spires that tower all the way up to basically the peaks that you're looking at there.
Question.
Yep.
while we're hoofing it.
Yep.
Are there any signs pointing to the library?
There are no signs, but on the second courtyard that you go through, it's pretty apparent. It's like it's effectively one like massive 3-tiered structure that's piled all the way around, and on the top layer, it's just pillars, and you can see through the pillars that there are just racks and racks and racks of books.
Okay. I want to attempt to stealthily leave the group to go to this library. I want to see, like, I just want to see if I can maybe like I'll pretend to drop something, and I'm like, oh, just keep going, guys, and then I'll like not catch up. I'll just leave, go to the library.
Okay. So from what I understand, at the very least, Silas is behind you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just have you make a performance check on you just like dropping something.
Okay. That'd be a 9.
A 9, and Silas, you're just gonna instinctively be contesting that with just your insight.
You want me to roll?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you see Nunu just like literally like reach down and like pick something out of a bag and like drop it and go, oh, I gotta get this.
And I'll just I'll walk by him.
Okay.
I'll walk by him.
Okay.
I'll see what he did, and I'll just ignore him and walk by him. Not ignore, sorry, but just he's doing his own thing.
Okay. Okay. So she just hauls it all the way up. So Nunu, I'll get back to you in just a second here.
No problem.
Oh no, what just happened? Okay, I just want to make sure I get you the right description here. Okay. Okay. So you guys make your way up, and you can see that you're entering the main keep of Candlekeep, which is a towering, this is direct from the book, a towering edifice that houses hundreds of monks and wizards and thousands of additional books and scrolls. And I will give you this description here. So you head your way forward through the keep. She leads you up a circular tower, the walls of which are punctuated by arched windows that are currently shuttered. Bookcases filled with eldritch volumes stand between the windows, while tables are crowded with specimen jars as you enter the main landing on the top of this tower. Alchemical equipment is on the tables and other clutter. Engraved into the floor of the chamber is a large 9-pointed star. A middle-aged, perched in the corner of a table nearby is a spindly little demon with warty green skin, buggy eyes, thin black horns, and a whip-like tail. And when she leads you up there, she just kind of like reaches into her pocket, throws what seems to be like some sort of like baked good or a piece of bread over to this demon, who just like reaches out, its teeth just like bare in front of its lips, and just snatches the thing, and then it just jumps down and kind of tucks into a corner. And she turns to face the group. We're missing one.
Yeah, he dropped something back there.
Hmm.
Good.
How long does it take him to pick things up normally?
I mean, I think he has slippery fingers, slippery hands.
His hands are pretty sticky from what I remember.
I'm gonna look back at Silas. Where is the child? Where is the child?
The child. I mean, I think what you said, the second corridor or the second
Landing.
Yeah,
landing.
second landing.
I mean, he dropped something around the second landing, and I just walked by him, and he said he'd catch up.
Intuitively, how well does Yoll know Nunu?
I mean, pretty well. You guys have been.
We shared a tent together.
Yeah, you shared a tent together. You guys have traveled long enough together. You would know him pretty well.
So realistically, based on what I heard him talking about and where we are, could I determine potentially where he might have gone?
Yeah. I mean, like, if based on the information, like if you're parsing it out.
Well, he asked 2 people to go to the library to read up on Grungs. And then as we were passing the big library...
I mean, Sylvira, is, you can see, is like kind of piecing it together too.
Yeah.
She goes, well, he wanted to learn about Grungs. So I would imagine he's in the library corridor. And she just whistles, and a carpet from like a...
Oh, no shit.
Like a giant, basically 8-foot long rug just pops up, flies out the top of the tower, and you don't see it anymore.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Nunu, I'll give you a couple minutes here.
Oh shit. Do I see like a librarian somewhere? Like when I like enter the library?
So in this area, there's a lot more monks moving around, just carrying books
there's a
around.
woman with red curly hair and glasses going, shh.
Miss Frizzle?
I don't know. Is there like I was mainly looking for like a desk that like someone's sitting at, like that would look like it's like the information desk. I can't imagine all these monks and scholars and wizards and stuff like that. They just know instinctively where all the books are at for every single bit of information they could possibly want.
Dewey
There has to be
Desmond,
somebody
motherfucker.
there that has information on where the subjects are for certain things, that has that kind of information. That's what I'm looking for.
Sure. So again, just to kind of give you the layout, big courtyard, entrance on either side. As you move your way up, you've got 2 very similar looking structures outlining the outsides of the walls. You want to go left or right?
I'm gonna get memed on here, but like, do the pillars are like, I guess like the arches like look differently on either side, like to determine like if it's like what they might like, what kind of school they would be under, like with like what kind of information to be on either side.
I will say, so I'm not going to make you roll for this. I will say there are some differentiating factors, but they wouldn't be apparent to somebody who hasn't spent a ton of time in these libraries.
I'll go to the right then.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so you enter through the front door, and lo and behold, there are definitely more monks moving around in this area. Nobody particularly stands out that's like there for information, but they all seem pretty specific about where they're going. Like they all seem very confident with how they're moving around.
I will go up to the closest one then.
Okay.
Closest monk.
So it's just another elf, just kind of moving through.
Okay. I will tug on their robe to get their attention, and in Elfish, I will ask them. I do know Elfish. I know Elfish, Grung, and Common, along with one other language. But I will ask in Elfish if they can point me in the direction of Grung's.
And he just looks down at you and just kind of like with a little smirk just goes, "It's very impressive. That's an impressive trick. I haven't met many Grungs that know Elfish." Of course. So the studies on species, you'll find just down here, you take the staircase up one level, and you'll find many, many rows of different species. They're all alphabetized in common, of course.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you. And I'll bow my head to them, and I will lightly jog towards that section.
Okay. And you make your way up this beautiful like marble staircase, and you find just these rows and rows. And as you parse your way down, you can see, well, I don't know many off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll go right,
and you make your way through
section.
You find Grung, and you actually
find anybody in this section.
Yeah, there's still tons of people moving about.
Okay. Yeah, I'll grab as many books. If I have to jump up high, but I want to just grab as many Grung books as I possibly can.
Okay, and there's tons of them.
Tons of Grung books, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, each section is like at least a full row of 4-tiered shelf of books, double-sided.
Oh my god. I guess I will grab I guess the history of Grung book. I'm guessing they have that. I don't even think it's a real book, but I'll grab like the history of Grung's poison, like the Grung poison book if they have that. Just like anything to do with our like Grung history and Grung poison.
Okay. Just roll a D100. We're going to see how close you get.
Ooh. Roll D. Is it just /roll D100?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, that seems like a pretty low number.
So of the books you're looking for, you're looking for something on history, something about the poison.
Yeah.
Okay.
And culture, I guess.
So you find a book on the alchemical uses for Grung secretion.
Okay.
And when you find that book, you like pull it off the shelf. And as you're looking at the spine of the book, you basically get tackled all the way through and just carried whoosh all the way through all the different rows of the book. And you're literally being like smuggled out, and you get carried up into the sky and yanked straight down through the top of the tower. And basically like you were in Santa's sack, you just get plopped and then slowly drop down on
Your mic cut out.
Your mic. You fuck.
But I'm guessing I slowly floated down.
We're also into it. We're just like, yeah, and then, oh, your mic.
Is that good?
You're good.
You're good.
Oh no, fucking Christ, bro. This is so annoying now. I can't hear you.
In front of the group is a rug that is bloodied.
Needs that new bass.
Bloodied. It's just all. No, we can hear you.
No. There we go.
He can't hear it. Oh, there.
Now I can hear you. Okay, yeah, and then you get plopped down, and now you're back in the tower. But you have the book. You have the book.
I guess get plopped down in front of her. I'm guessing with the book in my hand.
In the
Like
center of the room.
I look like a kid get caught with this hand in the cookie jar type shit.
Yeah, you're just like kind of holding the book, and you've been literally just swung around. You're like being, like you have no idea what happened, but you look down, and it's literally the rug that now just sits, and it yanks itself from underneath your feet, and you kind of like topple forward with your book just kind of falls out in front of you. and you're just like splayed on the floor, and everybody's just like standing around.
He's gonna look up. It's not what it looks like, and you should probably wash that rug.
I am not concerned about the rug. I am, however, concerned about time that we have here.
Well, I'm here now.
Well, I do have some questions. Firstly, I sent somebody for you to help you and, well, to guide you, really, but mostly to find something particular.
You sent
Where is Kalashtar?
You sent Kalashtar to help us?
Well, that wasn't originally the plan until I had heard from, well, my quasit over there, who was spying on Baldur's Gate. He made it back much quicker than I anticipated. He told me that you were up to some things, and then we sent Kalashtar because he had also gathered some information, some intel about some of the happenings in Baldur's Gate.
Kalashtar died to Thalmara of Anthempa.
That is very unfortunate.
This
And
was
she, like,
this was
skitters
after
her hand across her face.
This was after she turned into a devil.
She turned into a devil.
Demon. A
No.
devil we could have handled.
No, it was very certainly a devil that she turned into. If anything, you saw it with your own eyes?
Huh, all of us
I
did.
I didn't. I honestly don't know what these guys are talking about.
We met him after.
Ah. And she
Is dead.
did what? Oh, she's dead.
Yes.
Interesting. Did Kalashtar die to her hand?
Yes.
Well, good for him. He will be viewed kindly in his afterlife, and best go down fighting for the cause that he did. Very unlikely he will be dragged down where it seems Elturel has ended up.
We'll get to that. This is what you might be alluding to, and I'll take out the puzzle box.
I am so lucky today. And she, like, reaches out to take it from you, takes on a very serious demeanor, and for the first time you see her, like, very slowly moving her hands, not very jittery, just like moving the box over. She just says, as she kind of looks at it, and she seems like she's got like almost like a smugness to her face as she like looks it over and nods her head. I've been suspicious of the High Overseer of Elturel for a long time, but nobody wanted to hear my concerns because Thavius Krieg was so widely regarded as a hero who saved his city from an undead scourge, which he did. However,
I'll slowly take out the High Overseer necklace. He's dead too.
I wonder if I should stay in your company much longer.
Gantash lets out a little laugh. Listen, that pained me the most to see him that way. It's not the man that I followed. You know where I went, Sylvira? I studied under him for long. Hurt me to be betrayed like that.
In your time with him, did he give you any reason to suspect that he would be capable of doing what I believe he did.
I was shocked from the moment I found out.
I will tell you, Gantash, from the moment I met him years and years ago, I knew, well, I suspected that he was a charlatan. And I wished to prove that here. I've seen this box before. I've seen him with this box. And from an untrained eye, it would be very hard to tell whether or not this is an infernal object, but upon inspection,
It is.
it very clearly is. Which is why he wouldn't let many people see it. I doubt you've even seen it before today. Or before the last several days, it seems.
Well, you wouldn't believe who gave it to me.
Oh, and who's that?
Erstwhile Vanthamper.
Very interesting. That family does have a lot of power. Maybe less now.
He's all
I
that
assume
remains.
he's dead too?
He's all that remains.
Hmm.
We let him live.
Probably wise. Well, interesting. Let's take a look. And she, you can see she takes out this vial or she takes this vial that was sitting on her desk. And she looks around at everybody. I know normally I don't ask these types of questions, but is everybody ready to see what's in this box?
You said, you'd mentioned that you can fix Yoll's tiredness. Maybe we should deal with that first.
Ah, that's right.
Is there a bed nearby?
No beds needed. And she runs over and grabs a couple of more vials and starts pouring them together, shakes up very, very quickly with a very practiced hand, and just hands over this now kind of black and bubbling mixture. A little bit of gray smoke leaves the top of the vial. Just drink that.
What does it smell like?
It smells like burnt black licorice.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I've smelled worse smells. I guess I'll just look at it and say, I hope it kills me quickly. And chug a lug.
Yeah. And she stares at you just deadpan the whole time as you down it. She sees that you swallow it. She's like stares at your throat, sees that you swallow it. Good. It'll only take a minute. And she literally just...
I have that empty vial, by the way.
She just sits there with her arms together and literally just stares at you.
It's like a robot.
Yoll has
something
a
wrong.
crazy erection he can't control.
Oh no.
That's
3-foot turtle penis.
So,
Viagra.
Nunu, you were saying?
I asked her if I could have the vial, the empty vial.
You ask for a lot of things.
Yep.
Well, I suppose.
I'll take the vial and I'll immediately start putting.
It's in my hand.
Oh,
motherfucker.
I thought you gave it back. Okay, my bad. Fuck.
I'll hand it to you, but while I do so, I burp and blow the burp in your face.
It smells like burnt licorice.
Jokes on you. Can't be poisoned. Jokes on you.
Licorice.
It smells like burnt licorice and bio.
And she carries on staring at Yoll, at which point Rhea actually comes up behind Gantash and she just goes, I really want to get Elturel back. I don't want to be forced to live in a place like this.
Agreed.
And she just kind of kicks back and just watches Sylvira watch Yoll.
So
And like
are we waiting for anything in particular, or?
She says yes.
You're going to explode, Yoll.
Oh, well, like I always say, if you're gonna die, die quickly.
And like a very awkward, like extra, like 40 seconds goes by, and you just out of nowhere, you just feel this like warm rush go through your body, and you just feel like super alert, and your exhaustion is wiped, and you just feel like totally well rested. You don't get the effects of a long rest, but your exhaustion is gone.
Hey, let's go. Can I
Might
maybe
ask for the recipe for that.
putting some secretion into this vial?
Yeah, you want to just start scraping your.
You just want to start secreting in that vial there?
Yep.
Yeah, you can scrape your skin.
Perfect.
Okay. She's perfect. And I'll ask one more time. Is everyone ready to see what's inside this box?
Yes.
Good. It won't take long.
Less so than I was before.
I feel like that was a rhetorical question.
Did I hear the shield say yes?
The shield hasn't said anything yet.
I'm kidding. All I hear is yes.
Burn me around, goddammit.
This is gonna be cool. So she, you can see she takes this vial of this dark liquid and she just pours it on top, just like half the vial, pours it on top, and she looks at the box and she like swirls it around, and you can see her, she swirls it to the side, and she just watches it drip through the different grooves of the box, and she pours a little bit more and just watches the way it moves. She twists it, locks it into a different position, and you can see just as she studies it, just perfect. And then she reaches out her hands, and this like red and black smoke, like something you'd see on a D&D box of Clue.
Oh my god. That's funny.
It comes out from the box. and the box just stays kind of floating in midair, and she like pulls her hands together and the box just flies out, and you can see it just turning seemingly indiscriminately in the air, and she just stares at it, and her fingers are just kind of like moving as she controls it, and just you can see it just like pulls itself two halves, corner to corner, just pull itself and just sit twisting in the air, and this bright red light kind of bursts out from it, and from the top of it comes these several metal panels, almost like connected by chain links at the corners, and it just kind of like flops and flails there, and then it just pulls itself taut, and you can see there's just these several panels, and what lays before you is are these just metal plates with just a ton of writing on them, and she just immediately starts spouting off. She just goes, "Be it known," and she just pauses and looks around the room. The light starts to fade, and she just kind of like seemingly like controls everything to be a little bit closer to her.
Might be a little odd, sorry.
What's that?
No.
Oh.
Oh my god. No.
And he's out of there.
Oh, we gotta wait.
Oh, is he out? Where'd he go?
He's back, but he has to turn his camera on.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Sorry.
There we go.
Sorry, I
We're
fucked
good.
everything up.
Okay.
Yep.
So she says, "Be it known that I, Thavius Krieg, High Overseer of Elturel, have sworn to my master, Zariel, Lord of Avernus, to keep the agreements contained in this oath. I hereby submit to Zariel in all matters and for all time. I will place her above all creatures, living and dead. I will obey her all my days, and beyond with fear and servility. I recognize the dispensation of the devil called the solar solar insidiator, hereafter called the Companion. In my capacity as High Overseer of Elturel and its vassal territories, I acknowledge that all lands falling under the light of the Companion are forfeit to Zariel. All persons bound by oath to defend Elturel are also considered forfeit. I further recognize that this dispensation will last 50 years, after which the Companion will return whence it came, taking Elturel and its oath-bound defenders with it, if that is Zariel's wish. All this is my everlasting pledge. And at this, Rhea just like chokes back tears for like just holds it in and then just breaks down and starts bawling and falls to the floor. And you can see like she's very tensed up. Her fists are tensed and she slams her fist on the ground, but just continues to break down. And she just cries out, if Zariel wants to take my soul, she's welcome to come and take it. And she stands up and just like moves herself across the room, like turns from the group, just finds herself like a spot against the wall, puts her hands up, and just clenches a fist. And Sylvira just kind of like closes up the box again, but the metal plates that are strung together, she just reaches out and kind of like cradles them in and like folds them on top of each other, making like a stack, and just well, I have my evidence. I knew I was right. And she sets it down. And Rhea just like kind of turns and like just scoffs. Turns back to the wall. Just fist up, head down, and you can see she's like hyperventilating almost, but kind of keeping it under control. There's like a warrior's instinct that just like keeps overriding. It's like these conflicting emotions as she's keeps it under control, like chokes it back, but then like lets out like a little sob every once in a while.
I'm gonna go comfort her.
And she just turns to you and she goes, Buru, how is this possible?
We're only finding out, but at this moment, we will have our time to make things right. Just know that.
How? You tell me how. How do we get the entire city and all of its souls clearly forfeited?
Well, we're here in Kendall, keep to find answers, are we? We gotta keep it together.
That would be my next question, Sylvira.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know how to do that.
Oh,
Gantash kind of like cocks his head to the side. And how's that?
Well, I should be clear. I know part of how to do that, but I don't know the steps to take to get you to do that. What you have to do is you have to find a way to break the contract that was bound. Typically, the power, though, lies in the devil's hands, not the mortal who made the contract. So you would have to convince Zariel.
Can we kill her instead?
Well, could you kill her? No.
What about us as a group? Could we collectively kill her?
No. Something more powerful could, though.
So us, but older.
No, that would probably make you weaker, especially you, Gantash. No, but I'm sure something could, but certainly
What
not
you're
you.
saying is we cannot kill her, but she can be killed. Which would void this contract.
Well, yes, and not only would she need to be killed, she would need to be killed in the Nine Hells. If she were killed here, she would just be reborn back in the Nine Hells.
Okay.
So you could convince her to void the contract, or perhaps offer her something somehow more valuable than an entire city worth of holy souls, no less.
Well, Baldur's Gate is next. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I seem to remember that little spiel you read said that every
Soul under the companion.
soul under the companion. Is that not limited to Elturel?
Well, the companion. So actually, I'm going to just describe it to you. The companion was like a specific sun that shined down right there. It wasn't like a sun way up. It was literally like
that
if you went up high enough,
like a
if you
spotlight.
flew up there, you could touch it. Yeah.
But that only shone on Elturel.
Correct.
So, if the contract states that Zariel is owed all the souls touched by the companion or under the companion or whatever, why does she then get Baldur's Gate?
Well, she might be working towards that, Yoll.
Yes,
It's
it
a
would have to be
war.
a separate deal.
It's a war she's fighting.
That's my concern.
I'm
With
gonna
whom
step
did she
forward
make
while
a
they're all
deal?
talking. And I'm gonna kneel down to Sylvira and be like, "Are we safe from these walls? Is this private?"
This is as private as it gets. In fact, I wouldn't take him here. And she points to Silas, if it weren't as private as I needed it to be.
Then, while kneeling down, I'm gonna uncloak the shield on my back and hold it with two hands in front of her.
Ah, this is interesting. And she walks up to it. As she does, she actually holds out the stack of plates, and she walks past the group of basically Nunu, Yoll, and Gantash, and she doesn't even look at you, but she holds it out for one of you to take.
I'll grab it.
She says, "This is very interesting. That is a very important shield. I've only heard about this. And you found this also in Baldur's Gate?"
Your mic.
Me?
Talmar was keeping it, sorry.
Me?
No,
No,
it's true.
No,
true,
it
true,
was me,
true.
it was me.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. Thalmara was keeping it. Can I see it?
Of course, but I do warn you, there is a demon inside.
Oh, I'm well aware. And she looks it over, kind of, she throws it in the air, flips it, grabs it on the back. And she just stares at it, and she says, "This shield is a symbol of good's triumph over evil. Gazing at such beauty, one can easily overlook the terrible force within it. Gargoth, I believe its name, though it calls itself the Hidden Lord. It was a pit fiend sent by Asmodeus himself to corrupt mortals on the material plane, and there it amassed such a following as to rival that of gods. In fact, if left alone long enough, it would have become one. In that way, Gargoth became a sort of demigod, and having worshippers increased its power exponentially. My, how the mighty have fallen. This shield has the power to corrupt everything around it. The Hewn family of Baldur's Gate has kept it for years now. Doubtless they'll want it back, but this shield could not be taken to any place where thousands of mortals reside. It needs to be locked away in an extra-dimensional space, away from corruptible souls.
I have a question for you, Sylvira.
Yes?
Buru here has exclaimed to us that it has a desire. What would happen if we fulfill this desire?
Well, I would assume that most of its requests are for its own good.
I turn to
It
Buru.
wants to go to Avernus. Avernus.
Well, and Buru, you hear in your head, don't tell her anything else about me. She goes, oh, Avernus. What would it want to do there? I would have to think about that. I'm not sure quite what would happen if he went to Avernus. And I'm not sure why he would want that. His followers that he amassed are here. And if he would grow in power, and then he shouts in your head, silence this one.
Sylvira, sorry.
Yes?
How about this thing around my neck? My shoulder necklace.
Give me a performance check.
Ooh.
She goes, is it telling you to distract me?
Oh.
I mean, I do want to know about this necklace too.
I do too, Sylvira. I do as well, as I caused that.
I have
And she
something of a
goes-
vested interest in it myself.
She goes, well, I can help with that. But we mustn't be interrupted. And she reaches over into this big pot of this kind of like translucent but yellowed liquid. She reaches her hand into it and like wipes it off. And she just goes, shh. And she puts her hand forward with like a finger out up to the shield, like right across its mouth. And you guys all hear this like shushing sound just like echo through your heads. And she goes, shh. And she pulls her finger away. And there's this like ethereal finger left in front of its mouth. And if you like turn the shield, you'll see that the finger like moves as though it's attached to the shield now.
Whoa.
And she goes, well, no more distractions. Like I said, we have not much time. About this shield, before we move on, I can't tell you what it could possibly want. Possibly it's seeking freedom to be unforged from the shield. But if it is, let me assure you, a pit fiend is not exactly something that even the 5 of you, even 15 of you, would want to meddle with.
Would that mean if it wants freedom, it wants to defy Asmodeus?
No, I don't believe it would want to defy Asmodeus. It just wants its freedom back in the hells.
And where do pit fiends stand in the war Zariel is fighting?
Well, a pit fiend was replaced by Zariel as the leader of Avernus. They are about as high up the ladder as you can get.
Sorry, that was a pit fiend replaced Zariel as the leader.
Was
sorry,
replaced by.
replaced
There we
by.
go.
And she
Pit
just
fiend
says,
was replaced by Zariel. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. Not this pit fiend, but a pit fiend. Named Bell, if you must know.
I mustn't.
Yeah, they're poo-poo company.
And she goes, just to clarify, Gantash, Asmodeus did not trap Gargoth in this shield. Asmodeus himself sent Gargoth to corrupt mortals. He was only overpowered by the strongest forces of good. Who exactly, I'm not sure. But this entrapment of a pit fiend is quite the feat.
We definitely need that good now.
You do.
So bringing him to where he wants to go is probably not the best course of action, is what you're saying.
Well, I can't be sure of that. What I can be sure of is that he shouldn't stay here. And there's nowhere on the mortal plane that you should put him.
DM question. She said there's like he needs to be locked away in like an extra I don't know what the word is.
Extra dimensional.
Extra dimensional.
If there's a hell, Sylvira, then there's a heaven, no?
Many.
Would he go there? Kept away by the forces
Perhaps.
of good?
If you can find a way to get him there.
I think in terms of time, Baldur's Gate and Elturel seem to be more pertinent.
Yes.
Do you see, Sylvira, this is just based on the feelings I get from this shield, would Gargoth go to war with Zariel? Would they fight for power against each other? Would it be a struggle?
Well, it would be a great fight. And perhaps if that was his aspiration, though, the last trading of power over Avernus was a decision by Asmodeus.
To put Zariel into power.
Yes. After she was defeated, Bel, the current ruler, was subjected to some other form of work, I believe. Oh, I don't know. Likely some form of power, though, just not the leader of Avernus. Asmodeus, I'm sure, saw great potential in putting somebody directly from the heavens into power over Avernus, almost as a symbol, a statement to Mount Celestia.
Yeah. I forgot Zariel was a freaking angel.
What do you suggest we do, Sylvira?
Well, I do have a suggestion. There's not much you can do from the material plane. I'm sure you've all drawn that conclusion in one way or another. And I can't get you to Avernus. But I do think that is where you need to go. I know of somebody, a very strong wizard, though he doesn't look it. He lives not too far from here. I can have the Griffins take you to see him. His name is Traxagor. He lives in a tower about 20 miles from here. I've loaned him a spellbook or two from the libraries, and so he owes me a favor. If you'd like, I can have you delivered safely there and give him enough time. He can cast a plane shift spell, and it can take you straight to Elturel.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt here. But did you say griffins?
Griffins.
Gantash just starts pacing. And then what? We're in Elturel. The sky bleeding red. Demons and devils all over the place. Then what?
Well, I think the path has been laid before you.
Find Zariel and
Hey there, sorry for intruding. Yeah, we'd just like to have a quick chat.
Yeah, that contract we signed? No, thanks.
we didn't sign it.
There's somebody that stays with Traxagor. Her name is Lulu. She might have more answers than I do. And she could be your guide through Avernus. Oh, speaking of which, and she hands you a she like runs to the back of the room, opens up this box, and comes back with this like piece, this like large rolled up piece of paper, and she says, you can also have this to take with you. And she seems like very uninterested in like your Gantash and your like concerns. She's just calculating. She says, well, this could help. And she hands you, she unravels it, and it's this very bright lit up what looks to be like some sort of map, and I am going to bring you there.
What? Still
Not
loading.
like teleport you there.
Yeah, I just saw what it's loading, and I'm like
that.
Oh my god.
Can you guys all see it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh my god.
Wait a
oh my
second.
God.
What's
Zoom out
that
as
thing?
fuck.
What's? Oh, there's a lot. What? There's that one thing that looks familiar. I've seen that before.
Okay, so I have Sirens over there. Okay, here's the river. All the dead people are at. Okay.
And she says, though I'm not sure how accurate this map will be, Avernus and other dimensional spaces tend to abide by their own rules. The distances you may travel from one location to the other, and it may seem as though only a few kilometers have passed, and then on your return journey, it may be hundreds of kilometers to the same destination. Don't take this as gospel here.
I have a question regarding Avernus, if you can answer it.
Yes?
Is there water in Avernus? Can water exist in Avernus?
I'm sure it does, though it might be a little bit more rare to come by.
Okay, well, as long as it can exist, where I'm okay.
Yes. Oh, it's not like that Minecraft game the kids are playing. It can exist, of course. You should be fine as long as you find a source within the amount of time that you need to find it in.
I don't need to worry about that.
Now, this is a lot to take in, Sylvira, but I do think that the assistance of that thumb is a pertinent issue before we do visit Traxagor. That thumb keeps me up at night. It keeps Buru up at night, that's for sure.
Let me see. And she kind of leans in, just like hands behind her back. Leans in very close. Well, clearly, and she like kind of just like waves her hand, and this like little bit of just like sparks just fly off her hand, and she looks closer, almost as though she's like created a lens for herself to look through. Clearly, this is a cursed item. Very similar to the shield. in a few ways, but much different in others. This is not my area of expertise. Mine is the infernal, and this seems to be touched by the void. Let me, and she like reaches forward and just touches it, and you see her just kind of like reel back, and she like catches herself. Yes, very much like the shield. There's something inside that, but it is not a devil, and it is not infernal. In fact, I don't know how you're wearing it right now without being affected by it. There's something in there. Something that I cannot help you with.
Who can?
Perhaps somebody more well-versed in the creatures of the void and how they operate. There's nobody like that here. Nobody has taken to that area of study. It's too dark. I'm sorry.
Mm.
And she like looks up at Buru and says, "Truly, I'm sorry. Many burdens lie on your shoulders."
One problem at a time.
I do suggest that you visit Avernus. I don't see any other way around this. It's unlikely. But perhaps you can convince her. I don't suggest trying to kill her, though it is an option.
You speak of Zariel.
Of course. That's the most important thing right now.
And to your knowledge, what is Zariel's ultimate goal?
Well, and as she begins to speak, Rhea turns around, now a little bit more composed. She says, her goal will never be complete. She's fighting in this endless war. And she looked only for revenge on the Hell Riders, and this is how she took it. She took it out on everybody. Her wrath will know no end, and she will continue to fight in the Blood War, even as a Celestial. She should have known the Blood War will never end. So she's going to get all those souls, and she's going to put them right to work in that war. And when that doesn't work, you know what's going to happen? She's going to take Baldur's Gate. She's going to put those souls to work and fight in the war. And they're going to fail. And she's going to go city by city until the material plane is nothing but a bunch of craters and woods. And Sylvira just goes, "That sounds about right."
In this blood war, even though there's all this bad demons, pit fiends, etc., what is the good doing while this happens? Is there any god that is prevalent that you know that has its hand in this? Or cares at all? While souls are taken from this world to a different plane.
Well, look at what happened to Zariel. Do you blame them for not interfering?
But does it stop there? What is the good doing right now?
Well, they have their own wars to fight. And this war is one between the demons of the void and the devils of the nine hells. So far, it doesn't seem as though they've crept out of their bounds. They do make attempts, though unrelated to the Blood War. Take Gargoth, for example, here. They make attempts on human souls, and they will never stop doing that. And that, to answer your question, seems to be what the good is good at doing, is protecting them. This scheme put forward by Zariel was very clever, and only a celestial, somebody who knows how the good operates, was likely to come up with it.
And I'm gonna grab the shield with two hands. Wouldn't you think the forces of good would stop us from even give us some kind of warning before I bring Gargoth to Avernus?
What form of warning?
To not bring Gargoth to hell?
If they saw fit. I'm sure Gantash could answer this better than I can.
Well,
I'm gonna make the assumption that, so you're saying the good has deemed it okay for us, and I'm gonna look at everybody, for us to bring this to hell.
I think what Sylvira means to say is that the cycle will continue with or without the war. This is not the good's battle to fight. Souls will be taken and souls will be protected. That's how the world works. If the Nine Hells attacked Mount Celestia, then, well, I'm sure we'd get plenty of warnings. But right now, the Nine Hells are just focused on the demons of the void.
So the good that has put Gargoth into the shield is okay with doing it again after I take him out. Is what I'm getting.
Until they're threatened, I would assume so.
I'm gonna. The good has not really shown itself ever since we met Zariel. No good at all. Nothing. No sign. Just the five of us, the six of us. Sorry, yeah, with included, just left to go to hell. And this is okay.
The good doesn't always need to show a sign, Buru. It's always within us, protecting us if we believe. And I truly believe that Torm is with us, and he will watch over us in Avernus. I believe it with my entire fiber, every mote of my being.
Then I have nothing to ask. I will seek more information on the void, the thumb, and ask Traxagor, maybe Lulu about these things. But until then, I will keep my mouth shut.
She just kind of stands in silence for a second, just looks around the room, just goes, okay.
We're traveling to Avernus. We're gonna need some, need some supplies. What should we look out for while we're down there?
Down in Avernus?
Yes.
Well, I know that there is a traveling merchant down there. I'm not sure how to get his attention, though. He seems to just show up. So, if you can find him, also, not everything is totally evil down there. You may come across a few safe havens, though don't trust all of them. Yeah.
I'd imagine Lulu would have more answers for that.
Perhaps. She knows Avernus much, much better than I do.
I can't imagine this traveling merchant deals in gold. What good is gold in Avernus?
Oh, no. In fact, he does. There are, however, other currencies down there. You are quite correct. In fact, quite tragically, the most sought after currency are soul coins, which
I don't think I want to
sure
know.
maybe that's best.
I would like to know.
Oh, well, what happens is in the forge, they take a soul that has been captured that they deem even unworthy to become the lowest form of devil, and they press it into a sort of purpley black coin.
The forge, what is this forge you speak of?
Well, it's a forge where they make many infernal things. In fact, this puzzle box may have been made there.
So, if we bring souls to this forge, they then turn these souls into lesser souls, and then turn that into currency.
No, they just take the soul and press it into a coin, which is the only way that I know of that you can actually destroy entirely a soul. It's one thing to have your soul doomed to the nine hells or the void or any one of those lower planes. It's another entirely to have your soul entirely destroyed.
And every living creature has a soul. Would you say that is correct?
I believe so.
I hope you're not thinking what I think you're thinking, Nunu.
What do you think I'm thinking right now?
Your line of inquisition worries me. Are you considering sacrificing a soul into a currency?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, Gantash. But before you deem me evil or think I'm evil, and as evil as what that statement is, what if there's a way not to use intelligent creatures or intelligent souls? We can use lesser beings and their souls. We can capture things. We can
Talk to animals and convince them.
And coerce them and
trust
and
them.
murder them all.
And Nunu, what are we gonna do with these soul coins? You're gonna bribe Zariel with 5 soul coins, 7, maybe 9. She has thousands. hundreds of thousands of Elturellians burning alive. And you wanna screw this chipmunk in particular. You're in a coin now. Gantash spits on the ground.
These animals are nothing but tools. And they continue to be tools for us, more intelligent beings. I say we take advantage of these tools.
Every soul is a soul, and I refuse to participate.
I'm not asking you to participate. We don't know what these soul coins can do down there. It very well could be a way to keep us alive, keep us safe, pay off certain things to leave us alone for a time. Would you say that one soul, or I guess in this case, since there's going to be 6 of us going down there, 6 lesser beings, chipmunks, I'll use your example. You don't think 6 chipmunks are worth more than us? Or is that that's what I'm gathering right now. That you deem these chipmunks, these lesser creatures, these tools for us to be using while we're on this plane.
Every soul deserves life. And when your judgment day comes, Nunu, I hope Torm has mercy on your soul.
All I know is I value my life over almost everybody else's. There's very few people that I would deem I would sacrifice myself for. And if that means I have to sacrifice, once again, a chipmunk, or, can't believe I'm about to say this, but if I have to sacrifice Kevin to save myself, I will do it without hesitation. Sir Slobberchops, for example, same thing. That is the harsh reality that we are currently facing. We have to not think of it as such a spiritual thing like you are. We have to think about surviving. We have to go in there. We have to save Elturel. That's what you're saying. And you said yourself that you would do anything to save Elturel. If these soul coins, they are that much of a value down there, then maybe there needs to be a few sacrifices made. The need of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
What are these coins worth, Sylvira? In terms of our money.
Whew. That is a tough conversion.
That tells me right there that it's next to, there is no way to easily convert it. If one soul coin would equal as little as 1,000, I highly doubt it. It's 1,000 gold, for example, 1,000 platinum even. I still think it's worth it. And I'm not looking at this from a.
You have to remember too, though, we're going into hell. There's souls everywhere. I assume that, most things down there probably have souls or soul coins.
As much as I wish I could give you this guarantee, Gantash, of we will not touch a single soul from Elturel, the opportunity presents itself that we need soul coins, and the only souls we find available to us are Elturelian souls.
We can take damned souls, the ones that were sent to hell.
You're right, we can.
Nunu, there is a confusion. Not every soul in Elturel was deemed damned. So, it gets confusing.
I think before we make any more harsh judgments or harsh conclusions, I think we need to understand the exact weight of these soul coins and what value they present themselves in Avernus.
Regardless of the soul coins, if we're gonna get soul coins, Nunu, it's gonna be in Avernus and we'll figure it out. There are no souls here for us to take with us, and that is that.
That depends. If this wizard is powerful enough to bring all 6 of us, actually, technically, there'll be 8 of us coming. if we're all gonna be going.
You're missing the fact that we have to find this forge and then get whatever is operating it to press the soul
Yeah, I
into
think
coins.
Well,
We'll see what
this
happens.
is the
when we
least
get
of our
down there.
problems.
We'll see what happens.
Sylvira,
Yes?
have you been to Avernus?
No. No. I likely wouldn't last very long.
Too hot?
Yeah.
I take out. She handed me the map, right? Like it's still in my hand. Right.
Yes.
Can you point to me on this map where the leader of Avernus would be, Zariel?
Oh, well, I would imagine that she doesn't stay in one place. In fact, I am aware that Bell was given a floating ship that he would travel around to watch over his underlings. I can only imagine that was passed along. It looks as though almost like the blade of a sword that floats ominously through space.
Thank you, Sylvira. You've helped us more than you know.
No, I think I helped quite a bit, so...
Well, there's one last thing that there's left to do then. Take a griffin to this wizard. And we descend into Avernus.
He said the thing!
I had to. It was just so easily read. It was just so easily there.
That fruit was hanging so low, it was seeds planted for next year's harvest.
You're goddamn right it was, baby.
She goes, I was thinking the same thing. Is there any reason that any of you would want to stay for any amount of time before we go?
There's something I need to do before I travel to hell, essentially.
And what is that?
I mean,
Decent night's
just
sleep
need
for
to-
one.
I need to visit a location near here.
Is
It's not
it
too far
north, south, east?
north.
Well, luckily for you, that's where these griffins are headed.
Perfect, actually.
Okay.
Saves me the trip. Saves me from walking.
Well, then with haste. Yes?
Sure.
Yes. Bring us to your Griffin Master.
Where's the flight master at?
Is that going to be silver or what's the rate here?
She takes you to a building with a big green exclamation mark on the outside. No, so she just like kind of beelines it out of the room, just like very matter of fact, just heads her way out. And on her way out, she kind of passes Rhea, still like kind of slumped up against the wall, and she goes, I really am sorry. I know he was a large part of your life, and Elturel likely was the rest of it. I have an odd amount of faith that something will come of this journey. And I don't usually have faith, but this time I think I do. And Freya just like kind of looks at her and just like blankly stares, and well, faith is all we've got left, so. She takes her sword, plants it on the ground, pushes off of it, and heads out the door with her.
Before she leaves the room, I know you just said she headed out the door.
Yep.
But there's one thing I forgot.
Okay.
Can I'd like to ask Sylvira, I'd like to show her the tattoo ink that I have and ask her if she can make me some of this if she knows how to or where to get it.
She just turns and looks and kind of like studies. This is quite interesting. Yes, in fact, one moment. No cost, and she heads to her desk and starts swishing bottles around very quickly, like under a minute. She just whips up this kind of like small little flask and shakes it around, looks at it, shakes it, and just hands it to you and says, "Don't take the cap off for at least a day, but after that it should be ready." And she hands you what basically in a day from now will be worth 1 spell's worth of ink.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It's been a while since I've seen one of those. Well, is there anything else? And she like looks at the group. Seems like everyone's a little solemn.
Good now.
One last thing.
Of course.
What can I do to prevent the shield from corrupting me?
Just have a strong will. Stronger than the average person. Much stronger. You won't be able to stand up to its temptations or its corruption. None of you will, without a spine.
All right.
It would have taken
Understood.
over all of Baldur's Gate by itself. There's no question.
Understood.
On our
Sylvira,
way.
before we leave,
Yes?
since we've taken care of the Vanthemper family and Thavius Krieg as well, do you think it's highly possible we've delayed the descent of Baldur's Gate?
I have to assume. Between the shield, the corruption coming from that, and it sounds like if Thalmara took on the form of devils, then she was very close to Zariel. Yes, she must have been a very powerful warlock, very close to her. So, you very likely did delay it. That amount of influence being removed from that city may be enough to sustain it for quite a while.
I can leave this plane with at least some good news.
Yes. Though we don't know Zariel's plans just yet. We'll have to see as time plays out. Carrying on then, and she heads out the door, Rhea in tow. Assuming you all follow her.
Yep.
She takes you down the spiral into the main kind of area there. And she very quickly just heads over a couple of doors, heads up another tower where she takes you out onto this. There's this massive landing, and it opens out into the sky. Standing there are several. So it's like a crescent-shaped platform. There's several griffins that kind of outline the outside of the crescent. And she says, my familiar has already come to inform them where they'll be taking you, and they intend to do so quite quickly. If you need to make a stop, just say where you need to stop. I know Silas, you have somewhere you need to be. So just do it quickly, and they will stop for you and carry on once you're done.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
Who is the Griffin Master? Who is the one that trains the Griffins and raises them?
There are many monks who take up that role. These Griffins have a mind of their own. So if not trained properly, they could get out of hand. So it's the job of several monks. In fact, I believe it's 2 Griffins to 1 monk.
I have one question. I have a DM question real quick.
Sure.
In D&D, do Griffins lay eggs?
Yes.
You can.
Okay.
Don't say it, Lemon, you fuck.
I restrained.
Would it be possible for me to purchase a Griffin egg from you?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, he's gonna freaking make it. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
That is the one thing I request of use. I will pay. I don't have much gold on me, but
Pay you an exposure.
I got a V-Bucks card from Shoppers Drug Mart.
Gosh, it's priceless, baby. That's priceless.
It's from the future.
$8 and 2 months worth of free WoW membership. What do you say?
It's from the future, you know?
So I had to look this up,
Yeah.
obviously.
Uh-huh.
So she says, yes, we sell Griffin eggs.
Fertilized Griffin eggs.
No, you
Of
have to
course.
fertilize them yourself.
Okay. And how much?
They are 3,500 gold.
Just a couple of books. A couple of rare
Just a
books.
couple little bucks.
Couple of books.
Maybe like a soul coin, you know?
No, he wants
Gantash gets into a
egg
murderous rage. Gets out a pump shotgun and shoots Silas.
So I will tell you, if that's what you're seeking, if you are successful in your journeys, I'm sure I can convince our riders and our keepers to let you have one for free.
I'd like a
sacrifice it first.
Yes, I would very much appreciate that.
We will have one ready for you.
Put in a smart
Okay.
contract.
They're like financing.
Get a Griffin Egg NFT.
Digital copy.
How much is that per month for the rest of my life?
I want a
I'm just-
non-fungible Griffin.
I'm going to whistle, do the finger whistle,
Mhm.
to let Kevin know to come to me.
Okay. And you I assume you're outside when you do this.
Well, yeah, because we're in the crescent,
So you let out your whistle and you just hear this kind of squawking sound that just echoes all the way up through the entire city. And it takes a little bit. It takes about a minute, but you can see him from the distance fly his way all the way up from this tiny little thing in the distance that you can see, and then he flies his way up and just kind of proudly lands on top of the crescent and lets out a little huff as he in pterodactyl terms sprinted his way up this way.
Pterodon terms.
Pterodon terms.
There it is.
I just heard the arc whistle in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is
well,
that the follow whistle or the stay still whistle?
Follow.
Passive whistle.
well, then I think I'm all set to go now.
I have a question for the group. So I was just gonna ask the group. I need one person to come with me just for protection purposes. If anyone volunteers,
I say we all come down with you.
I
I say
One of us-
you and throws you out. Good.
can't. Just one I only need one person. It won't take long.
All
How does
come with
Buru feel about Silas?
I'll come. I will accompany you, Silas.
Good. Bring a 2'6".
I will not.
2.5. Thank you. Not 2'6". 2.5. 2.5.
I was gonna say whoever wanted to come in. You
5
could,
feet is
if there was
2'6".
more than one, you could roll on it. But if it's only Nunu,
You'll have. You not only will you have my bow, you'll have Kevin to help us out as well,
Kevin's
and of
axe.
course Sir Slobberchops.
Kevin's axe.
I'm sure he will be a lot of help. I mean, we'll also have the 2 griffins.
Yeah. There you go.
They won't listen to us, but
Wouldn't the griffins stay with us?
No. They
Well, they
she
have to
said-
drop me
She
off.
said they'd follow. They'd listen to our commands.
Wait, is where
I
you
guess the
need
next
to go
question is, what is the
within
rest of us doing?
Candlekeep?
it's just north of Candlekeep. It's the forest above Candlekeep, I
So
believe.
we're all above Candlekeep, north of Candlekeep.
So in this case, you probably have 1 griffin or something, right?
Yeah,
Well,
everybody gets a
presumably-
griffin.
Nunu.
Oh, everyone
Oh,
gets a
2.
griffin. Okay.
Yes.
You would have 2.
What'd you say? What'd you ask me, Silas?
Did it?
No, I asked you. You said my name.
Oh, I was gonna say no. It's okay. Nothing. I was gonna say you would be riding on the same griffin, but never mind.
No, we all get a griffin.
Yep.
Do you need a griffin? Does Kevin get a griffin?
Yeah, does Kevin get a griffin?
No. What the
He's a bird.
He's a pterodon, actually. Kate, flying reptile.
Actually,
He's something that flies.
It would be with you, Nunu. You would
Yeah.
share the same griffin.
No, he'll be.
Yo,
flying
why is
alongside.
this fucking pterodon riding a griffin? This is
Yeah, no. Kevin will be flying alongside my griffin.
Different caliber.
I don't really
flight.
understand why you still get a griffin, but you know, it's fine.
All right, moving on. Jesus Christ.
I'm better than you. That's why.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
is everybody ready? Gantash,
I nod.
Yoll,
No time like the present.
Buru,
Mm-hmm.
Silas.
Yep.
Rhea.
Super ready.
Yep.
She just.
Yeah, I'm ready.
That's what she says, just like that.
Well, let's saddle up and let's get moving.
Okay. Okay. So they just like immediately, you can feel them kind of tense up. You guys all straddle up on your separate griffins, and you can feel their just super strong backs. Your legs just kind of burrow into their feathers a little bit, and they hunch down, grip the ground, and you hear this little bit of a scrape as they push off of the stone ground and they launch themselves into the air. This is a much different ride than riding Kevin for you. Kevin typically is a little bit more loose. You know, he's not quite as rotund as these things are. And it just launches into the air pretty quick. Kevin actually struggles a little bit to keep up at first, but you see him like get a little bit of a groove and start like speeding forward to try to keep up. Though he does stay behind the pack a little bit.
Can I immediately start ritual casting Speak with Animals?
Yeah, I sensed this coming actually.
Yeah. No,
He's already got
it's not
voices
for
ready
meme
for all
purposes.
that.
This one isn't for meme purposes. I promise.
Okay. So you ride your way north. I will say that this journey is much quicker than going by cart. In fact, you're probably going like 6-7 times the speed of being on that cart. You very quickly, it probably only takes about, let's call it maybe 45 minutes to an hour until you find yourself over top of the Cloakwood. Though I will say, if you're ritual casting Speak with Animals, 10 minutes into the ride, obviously.
Yeah. I just want to speak to my griffin.
Okay.
I want to ask it. I want to ask the griffin its name. Obviously, I gotta be polite. About it.
So you said not for meme purpose?
And you gotta write
it-
down its name, unlike Sylvira. Doesn't matter. Who cares about
Yeah.
Infernus?
Oh,
Anybody want
her
to
name
guess?
is Sylvira.
Anybody want to guess what this griffin's name is?
Jeffrey.
Nope.
Okay.
Griffin.
Yeah, it's Peter.
He's gonna use the fucking Peter Griffin voice.
Damn, bro.
I don't have an accent for him.
His mind.
Peter-
But it is
blown.
Peter.
Peter the
Friggin' sweet, Lawless. Not great.
Peter, I just wanted to extend a thank you for not only from myself but from my rest of my party here for taking us on this journey with you where we need to go.
And the wind's just like rushing by as you're saying this. So he goes, yeah, it's a little hard to hear up here, but no problem, mister. We'll just take you where you gotta go. Any stops along the way? Pee breaks, food breaks?
We will be making one stop. I don't know where, but one of our party members I'll point to. I'm guessing we're all flying in like a
Flying
path, I'm
V
guessing.
situation.
Yeah, flying V or something. I'll point to Silas and say he's the one that knows where we need to stop at.
In the
And it'll be-
cloakwood, yeah?
It'll be I don't know this. He didn't. Silas didn't tell us where we were stopping.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
asking out of character. Asking.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cloakwood, yeah.
Okay. I'll say I will be accompanying him to this stop. But I just have one question for you, Peter. When we get to our final destination,
You lay an egg for me.
I would like you to join us.
I'm
Save
not
my time.
gonna do that. No, that doesn't sound good for me. I got a good gig. They keep me fed. I'm about as happy as a flying clam.
Well, if that's the case, then you deserve a treat, and I'll take out the wedge of cheddar that I still have, and I'll offer it to him.
Okay.
Give him the beans.
I have the beans. They are my beans. Absolutely, you will not give him the beans.
I'll give him my wedge of cheddar that has some slight grung poison on it.
Okay. You're just gonna make a persuasion check.
Oh fuck yeah, baby. Let's see. I don't even remember Nunu's persuasion.
You have to beat an 11. You got to beat an 11.
Oh, that's easy to beat. I got a 22. 19 plus 3. No, 19 plus 2. So 20. My bad.
He just goes, feel for the ride. Toss it in. And he's like flying like feet up.
There'll be plenty more where that came from, I assure you that.
Okay. Hit me.
And I'll give him one of my rations.
You just
Perfect.
poison the griffin?
I'm not poisoning the griffin necessarily. I'm giving him trace
Poisoned
amounts of
food.
poison to make him more docile towards me. And if that's not the most evil thing that my character has done so far, I don't know what is.
I mean, you did it to Slobber Chops too, and nobody really knew. what
Yeah,
was
no one
going
picked up on it, but
Yeah.
Remember.
the cat is literally out of the bag now.
I didn't know you poisoned the cheese, that's why.
Yeah, like well, anything I
It's just 'cause
touch
he
is
touches
poison.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I have poisonous skin, brother dog.
And he chomps it down very happily and
Good.
just carries on his way. Was that it?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to do.
Killing
Okay.
one of the
Attempt to
griffins
per-
with
I wanted to
fucking
attempt to persuade him to join us.
Yeah.
Obviously, but if I can't do that, then I might as well try to make him more docile towards me.
Sure. Okay, so like I said, roughly 45 to an hour goes by, and you find yourselves flying up to the wooded area here.
Does the bird know I need to stop here? I think she said
No,
that,
you
right?
Does
need
the
to tell-
bird know?
First off, it's not
It's
a bird.
a
It's a griffin.
fucking griffin.
Sorry,
Holy fuck!
It's a fucking bird, okay?
It's not a fucking bird, Lemon. It's a griffin.
I'm going to nudge my bird and point to Cloakwood.
And it just kind of gives like a knowing nod and just like slowly starts descending into a wooded area.
And I'll tell Peter to follow Silas.
Okay. I mean, it would have worn off by now, or is
No.
it an hour?
No, it's
Okay.
it's only 10 minutes, but since I know its name, it still understands common. That's what Sylvira told us. Is that it understands common because we can tell it in common where we need to go.
Oh, well, yeah, it can understand. Yeah. Okay, so yeah,
See, I listen.
so they both dive down, and the rest of the party. Are you just carrying on?
I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, they know where to go after.
Okay, so let's go with this. So, Mr. Silas, as you descend down on this edge of the woods, you find yourself in that similar spot that was kind of described at the end of the woods here. It's like the woods end from this like lush green and starts sparsely dispersing the trees that all kind of melds into this thick, swampy area. Part of this actually looks familiar to you.
And do we? I'm still flying, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'll gesture to the bird to kind of land near the swampy area, kind of just outside of it, so it's not so muddy or whatever, or swampy.
Okay. And they do, and they both come down and they land like perfectly, like two jets just like parking into like perfect spots right beside each other. And Nunu lands down there with you. You are basically in between the tree line and the swamp. There's like a little bit of a clearing. When they land, you can see underneath their feet. It's like the ground just softens beneath their feet.
What time of day is it right now? Sorry.
You guys are looking at. Let me remember where I put you at.
Didn't we get there in the evening because we ran through the night and then
No,
somewhat midday? No,
you got
got
there,
there in the morning.
No. You did get there midday. It's not nighttime though.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you've only been there for probably about an hour. So you're looking at about 2.
Okay. And we both landed. We're both beside each other.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. I'm just gonna get off my griffin and tell Nunu I think the place is close that we
Well-
need to go to. Well, that I need to go to.
You lead the way. This is all. This reminds me of home, actually. So you lead the way.
Just be on your guard. I think it's been a while since I've been to these woods.
Be on my guard for what? Are you saying
I don't
something's going to
know.
come
I
out and attack us?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've been here.
Well, was the last time you were here? Were you attacked by something?
Not necessarily.
That wasn't
I
that was a yes or no question, Silas.
I can't remember.
That's helpful. All right. Well, I will as we're walking, as I'm following Silas, I will poison 10 arrows.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing, and while I'm following Silas, he's got to lead the way.
Okay.
And I'll walk to the area that looks familiar that I saw.
So it is actually basically right where you landed,
Oh,
right
okay,
right on the cusp there. So as you kind of scan around, give me a perception check.
Deep.
Okay. What's your passive?
11.
11. Okay. What's your passive, Nunu?
14.
14.
Oh, she.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you kind of like scan around, it's this like eerie, slow-moving silence to the woods. The swamp you're standing near, within about 10 feet of you, right on the edge of the swamp, there are these massive massive, like taller than Nunu, 4 foot high and thick mushrooms growing out of the bank of the swamp. And they kind of make almost like a wall. And there's a groove as they come down, like where the stalks are. There's like a groove in the ground that just looks like all the grass has basically been removed. Inside the woods, though, it seems like, much more solid ground. A lot of the, foliage on the ground is just dead. No real paths in sight, but it's a little bit, cleaner looking.
Does it feel like home, Nunu?
Well, I'm from a swamp. It looks like a swamp. So yes, this does feel like home to me.
I'm just gonna go up to one of the big huge mushroom with the grass.
Okay.
It's not underneath it. I'm kind of just trying to walk. I guess I'm in. You already said I'm in the area that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part. I just want to go up to the mushroom and just maybe just take a look at it. I know you already described it, but
Sure. Yeah, so it's a pretty gnarly looking thing. It's got a black top to it, and where the stalks go into the ground, on closer inspection, you can see that the groove in the ground is pretty particular. It looks like it looks like it's been basically carved out of somebody laying down on their side. The swamp itself, you can see, you look inside and unnoticed to you before, it looks like there's just several trees just laying dead underneath the surface of the water, as though like there was some sort of chasm that just ripped this swamp into existence and all the trees just came down with it.
Do I know anything about these mushrooms, by the way? Do I recognize them since I'm from a swamp?
Give me a nature check.
Nature. 18 plus 3, 21.
So on your inspection, you actually see these mushrooms, and you are baffled. You've seen big mushrooms before, even bigger than these. You've seen little ones, whatever. These are totally out of your scope, though, and in a like very unnatural way. They don't even seem natural to look at. They're very, very off-putting, even to you as somebody who literally lives around mushrooms.
Silas, there's something. Ow. Sorry, Silas. There's something unnatural about the fun guy here.
well, they're extremely huge.
Yeah, that's not what's unnatural about them. I don't know. I've been around big mushrooms. I've been around small mushrooms. I've lived around them a lot of my younger adult life. But there's something about these can't quite put my finger on it. But there's something, like I said, just unnatural about like this. These aren't naturally occurring mushrooms. Something or someone put them here. What exactly are we doing here, Silas? What are we looking for?
I don't remember much, but I came to these woods. after stealing items from Candlekeep, I stole those items to do a certain spell. And I
Okay.
remember coming to these woods to perform it, and I remember all I remember is waking up like this, like how I am right now. Don't need to sleep, don't need to eat,
So you're
and I'm
telling
just
me
looking for answers.
after you committed a crime in Candlekeep,
It was barely a crime.
you came here and then performed some dark magic. Is that what I'm gathering?
I don't know if it was necessarily dark magic. I can't remember. I'm just looking for answers. I'm gonna kind of just kneel down to where the little crater is and just kind of, I don't know, try and think back to see if I like anything like sparks a memory or anything. Yeah. It's, oh.
Your mic's not working. Oh no. Krepe, you're muted too, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Cool. Nope. Still nothing, brother.
You
picked
want to eat some mushrooms?
You picked a hell of a place here, Silas.
Yeah, I needed it to be secluded.
Well, secluded it is. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes,
Yep.
we can hear you.
Okay. Sorry. So when you kneel down,
Oh, it's game.
you can see much more clearly defined that the layout before you, it's almost like very clearly defined. Like you can see like an arm would go here, and you can see like it's the layout of somebody just like laying on their side. And as you get closer, you can see there's like a spot for a head, the leg lays out this way, and it's like somebody was literally just laying there and just killed all the grass underneath it.
I assume, I knew who that person is. Potentially.
It looks like it could be a perfect fit.
Do I notice this as well?
Yeah. I mean, if you're following him, you get up close and you can see like it looks like a body.
in it.
You're gonna lay in it?
To see, I guess.
Okay. So Nunu, you watch as Silas like kind of just crawls his way into this like groove. And Silas, when you get in there, you have these like just like very warm and cozy feelings, and you start like kind of fading a little bit. You just kind of drift. Your body starts feeling really loose, and you start easing into this groove. Nunu, from the outside perspective, like, what is this guy doing? But clearly, like, he fits perfectly into this groove. And all the way around the rim, because the mushrooms were really growing just on the one side, and the stalks like carried into this one little groove, all the way around the rim, you can see these tiny little mushroom heads start forming around the outside brim. And as they start forming, they almost like you're watching one of those like sped up videos of mushrooms growing. You see them like kind of wiggle their way up, and they start slowly wrapping over top of Silas.
Yo, why the fuck would it have to be my life to fucking volunteer for this shit? I'm gonna Silas, are you okay? Like the mushrooms, are you controlling them?
He can't hear you. Like he doesn't respond.
And the mushrooms are slowly like growing over top of him.
Yeah, they're slowly like cradling him and like gripping over top of him.
Silas, you're wearing pants, right?
Probably, yeah.
I'm gonna grab him by the by his ankles grab him around the pants so I don't just come in physical contact with his skin and start trying to pull him out.
Okay. And it isn't a ton of work, but you can feel almost like there's a little bit of a Velcro holding on to him. Like you start pulling and tugging. Give me a strength check on this.
Oh, fuck. I hope this thing isn't killing you, Silas, because this isn't gonna be good. Oh, fuck. It's actually a 19 minus 3, so that would be...
Jesus. Yeah, so again, like just you're like freaking out. These mushrooms are carrying him, trying to wrap around him. So you yank on his pants and start hauling him back. And like I said, you can hear these like popping noises as you can see the mushrooms have also grown underneath him, and they were like kind of sucking to his clothing. And you yank him out, and a bunch of these mushroom stalks just kind of rip off of him. Silas, you kind of wake up with a jolt, but also there is a bit of a deeper female voice that you hear that just screams out to you. I will tell you what it says after the session. And it just jolts you awake. You no longer feel comfortable. You're not like eased in. You are in a bit of a panic right now.
Silas, what was that? What just happened? What did you just do?
I don't know. I just felt like sleeping. I came here for answers, Nunu. I came here before.
From my perspective, it looked like you were being enveloped by the mushrooms. I got scared. If you want to go back, I won't stop it this time. But I can't return back to the group if you're not with me. The look and what everyone will think won't be good for me. You have to understand that. But this is what you need to do.
I think I have a clue, or I think I might have an answer now. I can't be sure, but
well,
I think.
Are you gonna crawl back? Are you gonna crawl back into that little?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, is that all we needed to do here then?
Yes, I believe so. I think I have the answers I was looking for.
You think? What answers were you looking for?
I don't know yet.
What? Oh,
he said he would tell me after the session, so that's why I'm saying I don't know. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well then, if that's all, then I guess we will rejoin the rest of our group. Are you ready to leave this place?
Yeah, I don't think I want to come back. And thank you for potentially saving me. I don't know what was happening, but
you scared me. I'll be honest, Silas. But let's
that's why I wanted to bring someone.
That's
so
good thing you did.
Along. Yep.
Yeah.
Could have been bad.
Could have been. It's got so lucky. Let's return back then. And I'll start making my way over to Peter.
Okay.
Peter.
So they are waiting for you. When you turn and look back, you can see the mushrooms have kind of like that were growing up over top of him, just kind of like almost instantly just receded and fallen over, and they just make this very flimsy looking bed of mushroom stock where the layout of the body was, and you can see them just slowly wilting and dying off. But the griffins are ready to take you if you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Besides the huge ass mushroom, is there any like smaller ones of the same?
There were the ones that grew beside you.
Yeah, but those died.
Well, I mean, they're like dying off currently. Yeah, they're like wilting.
Can I pick one up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick one up.
Okay. And when you pick it up, you pick it and you like bring it. I assume you're going back to the griffin with it.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it in my bag. Yeah.
You might cut out. We can't hear you. Oh, we had you for a second.
Nope.
Back.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Okay. So, as you're carrying it back and you're getting your backpack off, you can see the mushroom start slowly coming to life as it attaches itself to your finger. You are able to pick it off and put it in your backpack, though.
Interesting. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So you get on your griffins, you fly out. I'm just going to bring you guys forward. Is there anything you guys want to do while you're in the air?
Would it be so? The book was never taken away from me.
Correct.
That I got from the library.
Yep.
So I guess I also committed a crime. I can't keep. Would it be possible for me to read it on the way there, or is it too windy?
Yeah, I mean you're ripping through the air. It's like you're on like a small airplane at this point.
That's fine.
Except for you're riding on the top of the airplane instead of inside.
Yeah.
I
you're on the
figured it'd be fast
outside.
enough. I had to ask, but okay,
That's fair. Fair question. Okay, so that's a good one. So, is there anything else you guys want to do while you're in the air?
Nope.
Okay.
Just catch up with the group.
Okay. So your griffins peel off in the air, and you can feel them like genuinely giving a strong effort to try to catch up. You were down there for a little bit though. It does take a couple of hours before you rejoin the group, but you do finally make your way up there. These things are tearing through the sky. You actually fly past Baldur's Gate and you head your way north.
Whoa.
The eagles fly inland a bit away from
what flies inland?
Sorry, I said eagles. Fuck. The griffins fly inland a bit, and they make their way in to, over this mountainous range, and then they come off into this kind of hilled area. What you see in front of you is basically this. Did I get out?
Kind of.
Okay, am I back?
You're back.
Yeah.
You're back.
Okay, so what you see in front of you is this castle that's mostly assembled, but you can see there's an upper layer being built on top. There are also small little farms and seemingly like small buildings on the outskirts of this castle that's been built on top of this hill. There is a river that flows on the outside of the hill, and your griffins take you straight down to the entrance of this castle. And when you get there, I just want to make sure I've got this set up properly.
Oh, no way.
Looks like I
No fucking way.
Uh-oh.
No fucking way. No fucking shot, bro. Oh my god.
Holy fuck. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yo, let's go.
So you make your way to this castle.
Whoa, hold on, stop. Your gain is maxed out or something.
Fuck.
Like, it literally sounds like you're swallowing the microphone.
I have to say this properly, okay? I have to say this part. So can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the castle before you, so you land on top of this hill. And the griffins just drop you off. And they just kind of look around for like any kind of sign of anything else. And they just grip the ground, launch themselves up into the sky. By this point, you're looking closer to the evening. So they just kind of drop you off here. You can see that the front door to this castle is wide open. And inside you can see a halfling, fairly portly, standing in full decked out armor. And he's just standing, kind of looking from the inside, a little bit awkwardly. He looks like he's eating something.
No, I don't want to be. I don't want to be that guy. But it's 11:30.
I know.
I have work tomorrow.
I know.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Oh,
I just
you
need to
think
know
it's
what you're
cliffhanger.
doing.
Oh my god.
I just need to know what you're doing.
I guess.
Approaching the castle.
Yeah,
I guess we're
we'll
gonna
approach as a team.
Okay. When you step inside, you see what seems to be like an attempt at like a grand entrance. You can see that the flooring is done very nicely, but you can also see that a lot of it's still kind of under construction. When you step in, you see this teenage halfling, very portly, standing there eating what looks like a candy apple. As you all make your way in, I'll make sure you're here. I'll bring him back here. As you make your way in, very focused on this little boy, he just goes, I heard you were coming. Welcome to Flummin. And you just hear from the corner beside you, just, And you look to see foot kicked up against the wall, this dark dressed, head down, very mysterious looking character. Looks like a human with a tattoo, almost like a tribal looking tattoo on the inside of his forearm that goes all the way to the tip of his middle finger. And beside him, also kicked up against the wall, is a also kind of portly looking dwarf, or gnome, sorry, I should say, with a long black mustache. And on closer inspection, you can see he doesn't actually have a foot on the ground. He's like floating in midair with his foot up against the wall. And the last thing you hear from this session is just, from the corner. And that's where we're going to call it.
Oh my god. Krepe is so lost right now. Why we're all freaking out.
He'll be brought back around. It's okay.
I
Okay.
assume this character from a past campaign. Or several characters from a past campaign.
I don't know.
It could be.
The gnome
Unlikely
you
though.
described is something I think he's described before to me. And Lemon.
I don't remember, brother. But I remember one thing. So
Okay, and that's it.